Hello, everyone. How are you? Can you hear me? Can you see me? It's so great to see everyone here. What is going on? Oh my gosh. We've got Micah is here. Michelle is here. That's me. I had to go get a coffee. That's why I'm late. Jess is here. She'll be cooking, so she can't type much. All right, Michelle. Hey, William. Happy belated birthday. William's birthday was yesterday, in case anyone missed it. Everyone is saying hello to each other. It's wonderful. Yeah, Michelle, what are you cooking? Prawn noodles with garlic and ginger. That sounds good. I'm coming over. Crystal's here. Sounds good. Hello, friend. New booktuber right here. Make sure, check out, subscribe. She just started her channel this week. Micah says, good morning, good morning, good morning. Can hear and see me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fantastic. So how is everyone? We are here because this is officially, well, tomorrow is officially the 1-year anniversary of me starting this series that kind of has taken off, and it is a weekly commitment on my part. And I mean, honestly, this is how I've met so many of you, which is awesome. Every week I just try to randomly, as much as possible, pick some fellow booktubers that are just starting out, or people that have been stuck in their growth, or people that just really started up their channel within a week or so, and try and give them a boost, try and give them a push, try and have them do move on to not bigger and better things, but to continue the momentum of getting their channel growing. All right. Hey, Quentin, how are you? I don't know, but happy birthday. And what up, MJ? Hello, Quentin. How are you doing? Okay, so we just have a fun, chilled hangout today. It kind of is going to still be like support small booktube. So if there's anyone out there that's just starting a channel or has questions, we're here to answer them. But I also have fellow booktubers that are popping in, and we're just going to chit chat and have a little Q&A. So I think, let's see. It works. It was very encouraging to me when you shouted me out. Awesome. And I'm so glad that we are buds now. We are buds. You love Watson's music, and I dig some of your books. And I finished The Story of the Eye, Quentin. I finished it. Read the whole thing. All right. So I have someone lined up who I don't know if the internet is ready for this person, but they are aglow. And it's Gareth from Book Songs and Other Magic. So I'm going to bring Gareth in. Gareth, are you ready to come in? He's backstage. All right. Hey, Gareth, how are you? Gareth, are you ready to come in?
Yeah, hiya.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, hello, can you hear me?
I'm good. It's a bit weird though, because on my phone, it's not showing what you're saying. There's no audio for you. So I've got the TV on. It shows you, but it might be like an echo on. There is going to be an echo. This is going to be interesting. I can't hear you on my phone. Hello.
It's good to see you. It's good to talk to you in real time.
I'm not sure I can do about that. I thought I fixed all this. It was going to be awesome.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
We've got a bit of a delay.
I might have to just delay my answers. It'd be like being on TV when they interview someone on a chat show or something.
There you go. I'll do like a 10-second pause in between. How's that?
I can hear myself afterwards. This is mad. I'm gonna turn that off. I might have to leave the room and come back in and try and figure this out, because I can't hear you at all.
That's okay.
I might have to leave the room and come back in and try and figure this out. I can't hear you at all.
That's okay.
I'm gonna try that, but I have fixed my light, so it's a bit lighter now, which is good.
All right.
I'm so looking forward to this. I better fix this because I want to be able to hear what you say.
Okay.
Oh well, I will try again.
Okay.
Otherwise, being funny.
That's okay.
See you in a minute.
All right.
Popping in and popping out.
All right. Bye. Okay, so Gareth is doing his thing to try and get scheduled out. He's got a brand new microphone. He's got a brand new light. So he's testing the waters with the live, and that's totally cool. So let's see. Oh, buds indeed. Are you laughing because I finished the story of the eye? Are you laughing at me, Quentin? I think you are. Nose in a Book is here. Oh, thank you so much. I can't believe like it's been a year, you know? It's just been such a cool experience. And like I said, the best part of it is like meeting all of you because it really does fill my heart with joy when I see channels that, you know, we shouted out a while ago still continue and still grow and you know, really do become friends of mine, which is awesome. Let's see. William says, I'm only one subscriber short of matching my old channel. Good for you. That's wonderful. Nose in a Book says, I love this little corner of BookTube. I do too. I do too. Watson says, hello, everyone. Fred is here. He says, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Micah says, hey, Gareth. Everyone's saying hello. It's so great to see everyone. Hey, Matthew's here. Good morning. Can't stay long. Wanted to congratulate on the anniversary. Awesome. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. So while we're waiting for Gareth to come back, I am going to try something. I'm going to set up two screens. I'm going to see if this works. No, it's still not working. Oh, wait, is it? No. All right. Hey, new breeders, how are you? Whoops. Let's see. Got that one. Hi, new breeders. How are you doing? I'll be back for the regularly scheduled live stream next Saturday. Okay, sounds good. MJ, I'm singing happy BookTube anniversary to you. Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks, Jess. That is wonderful. Hey, Christopher, how are you? Everybody got a beverage? I got a coffee this morning. Made a little extra creamy foam milk thing going on. Okay. Micah says, good morning. So if you are new to support Small BookTube, I started this series last year, I think out of frustration, honestly. I started it because I was a newer channel and I was still trying to find my own, right? Because when you start a new channel, you kind of still have that confidence thing. And you're like, oh gosh, you know, my channel's not growing. I don't understand what's going on. And there were a lot of us in similar situations. And we all kind of, you know, when you start a channel, who's in your class, right? It's channels that are alongside of you with subscriber counts and you know, when their first video uploaded, et cetera, et cetera. And those are the people that are in your class. So, you know, myself and people in my class, we just found ourselves a little bit on the struggle bus. So what I wanted to do was, you know, I didn't have a lot of subscribers at the time, but I wanted to use whatever foundation that I had to shout out newer channels. And I wanted to grab the attention of bigger channels. And I wanted bigger channels to focus in on the smaller channels, basically. So it would have that type of communal effect. So it would have almost not a viral effect, but you know, if I could get one bigger channel to shout out a smaller channel, goal achieved. If I could get a bigger channel to subscribe to a smaller channel, goal achieved. So I really wanted the bigger channels to mesh with the smaller channels to help us with our momentum. And I think it's worked. I really, really do. I think that the formula has worked because those channels that started out with me are bigger now. And they are supporting smaller channels, which it's like a continuing loop, which is awesome. It's just awesome. All right, I'm so behind in these chats. Woo, let's see, where are we at? Okay. Micah's got a green tea. Love green tea. Want to pop in and say hello, Sarah Ann. Hello, Grape Jelly Library. How are you? Lindsay Reeds is here. Everyone is here. It's so good to see everyone. It's wonderful. All right. All right. I see my friend. I'm going to pull you in. Okay. I see It's Micah Cummins. Hi, Micah.
Hey, MJ.
How are you? It's so good to see you. I pulled you straight from the comments. I just pulled you in.
Oh, perfect. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly.
Awesome.
It's so good to have you here. So
it's good to be here.
The reason I'm having some surprise booktubers on is just to get their experiences. Now, Micah, your channel has blown up over time. And I remember shouting you out back in, I think it was April. Was it April of last year?
I think it was April.
Okay. So, can you explain or bottle what it's like for you starting out as a booktuber and what the shout out meant to you and your channel, and then how that momentum kept growing for your channel, just to like encapsulate it a little bit.
Yeah, so before you gave me a shout out, I think I was around 100 subscribers, maybe not even 100 yet. It may have just been in 80s or 90s, somewhere in there. And I just remember I had already watched your series a couple of times. I think I wasn't one of the first episodes, but I was close to the beginning. So I knew what it was. And I remember I would go and look at all the channels that you were shouting out, and I would go subscribe to them, and I'd be like, oh, that's so cool. Like they're getting this, this big time shout out. And then I just remember I got the little mentions tab in YouTube. You had mentioned in a video, and I didn't even know what that meant. So I, went over and clicked on it. I was like, oh my goodness, I've been mentioned in this video. This is so cool. And then the end of that day, I got like 10 or 15 more subscribers. And then every day after that, there was just a very slow, steady growth. And it was just a great feeling of sort of reassurance almost of, oh, I'm being seen. People are watching my videos. I'm not just shouting out to this empty void. Because when you're small and you're first starting, it can be really discouraging when you feel like you're just putting out video after video and nothing's happening and no one's really commenting, and maybe you're even losing subscribers instead of gaining them. And it's sort of this, this big uphill battle. Right. But I think it's sort of that domino effect of once you mentioned me, even though it helped me get subscribers, it also, the big thing it did was it boosted my confidence of knowing, oh, people are watching me. And then it sort of changed even just my internal feelings about my videos. It gave me a new energy, to sort of a resurgence of wanting to do more instead of feeling like I was being, sort of beaten down and just talking, but no one was hearing. So
absolutely. That is the exact feeling that I wanted to encapsulate. Because when I got my first shout out, it was, who was it? It was Mark at Book Time with Elvis. And he said, he said I was bubbly, and I was like, oh my gosh, somebody's actually like watching my stuff, and they're actually talking about me. Like, this is so cool. And that really is the feeling that I wanted to put in a bottle and then ship it off to everybody that I mentioned, because it was so awesome. It was so awesome. So tell us a little bit about, now, I don't know everybody in the chat, if they know Micah, if they know Micah's channel, but if you could give just like a little synopsis of your channel, what genres you like, and if you're participating in any events that you want to promote.
Yeah, absolutely. So I primarily, or at least right now, primarily talk about historical nonfiction and classics. I don't do a lot of fiction. I'm starting to do more this year. There is an event actually that I'm a part of called Classics and Company that I'm co-hosting with Ann Novella, who has another fantastic booktube channel. It's a year-long read-along through all of 2023, focusing on 8 different works of classic literature. So we're starting with Dangerous Liaisons by Pierre de Laclos, which is a French novel, a French 18th century novel that we are reading until February 14th. So I've been talking a little bit about that one. But I primarily talk about history and nonfiction in general.
Yeah. And that's awesome. And the thing that I love about BookTube is we read totally separate genres.
Oh, absolutely.
But we're still subscribed to each other, and we still help each other. We still promote each other. And I absolutely love that. I love the friendships that have come through.
Right.
Like the community aspect.
And just being exposed to different genres that you wouldn't typically read.
Absolutely.
And that's one reason why, like, I'm a huge fan of Ollie. I watch all of his videos. I think he's absolutely fantastic. But I do not like horror. I do not read horror, but I love hearing about it. And I love just watching his passion for this genre that he loves so much. Even if I'm not reading the books, I watch for him.
Yeah.
Sort of, for his presentation of what he's reading.
Absolutely. Talk quickly about a little bit about the community aspect.
Yeah, so for me, the community aspect really kicked in actually probably the middle of last year when I really started getting involved. I started joining Discord servers. Before then, I'd always heard about them. I never really joined. I started joining Voxer groups, really things outside of the YouTube platform, but that tied back in to the community. I think those aspects are really important of talking with your fellow creators and with, even your other viewers sort of off the platform as well as through your videos. Just be able to have that conversation where you're actually talking with someone, you're hearing someone's voice, a Zoom call with someone, a Discord audio message with someone, that really, it helps then on your videos, it helps them feel more comfortable commenting. At least for me, I know I didn't comment at all before I started making videos because I didn't feel comfortable doing it, having that dialogue with the creator. But now with all the great book clubs that there are, your Discord server is a great example of sort of a place where there are multiple different conversations going on. You can talk about whatever you want. There are so many people on there, just chatting back and forth. And it doesn't even have to be about books, but it's just building a community. And it does also help your own channel to grow when you are involved with other people's channels too, because then your name is getting out there. And I mean, I've had a lot of growth on my channel just by sort of being mentioned offhandedly by another creator, not necessarily a shout out, but just referring to a conversation we may have had, or, an email exchange we may have had. And then, that helps you grow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so Micah, I'm going to invite you to hang out with us if you want.
Awesome.
I've got 2 other people backstage, so we're going to try and connect over to the UK again. And,
all right.
And also, we've got Michael Romeo Talks Books and his dogs. They're all here.
Sweet. Awesome. It was great talking with you.
Hello. Good talking with you too. Hi, Gareth. How are you?
I'm good, and I can hear you, which is lovely.
Wonderful.
Hey, Gareth.
I'm also. This is gonna be a group chat. There we go. There's Michael. How are you, Michael?
Great. How are you?
Wonderful.
Hey, Michael.
Hi, Michael. Awesome. Hi, Micah.
Everyone.
It's so good to talk to everybody. So we're gonna go in order. So Gareth, I'm basically gonna hit you with the same questions that I hit Micah. So I kind of talked about my experience with creating this series. I'd like to know, you already had an established channel when I shouted you out, but talk about what that felt like, the community aspect of BookTube. Talk about your channel a little bit. You have a free platform.
Well, I was thinking when Micah was answering your question that I felt it was like a little bit extra special for me because you did it even though you were concentrating on people that had less than 100 subs, and I didn't have a lot more than that, but I did have more than that. So I felt like it was really special you did that, and I was so grateful. And I did get a lot of new people looking at the channel thanks to you saying that, and I'm very grateful. And it was lovely. And like Mike is saying, if someone endorses what you do, that's another content creator, it's very special. You feel like, okay, I'm doing something right, and I'm not ballsing up, which is really nice, because it does take an effort to do it, and you want to know that you're doing it in the right way. So I do think it matters, absolutely. And then obviously you start making friends with people on BookTube, and that's very special. And it's nice because it's a very specific link, so that's really cool.
Absolutely.
My channel kind of goes between 3 things really. It's like I try and put as much bookish stuff on there as I can, but there's also, because it's book, songs and other magic, there's also lots of music content, or some music content. And then now and again I do these videos where I just chat kind of more philosophically about making the most out of your life and feeling good about yourself and stuff like that. So there's kind of those 3 things that kind of happen.
That's wonderful. And what type of events are you participating in, or that you're hosting right now?
So I'm in the middle of at the beginning really of the Historathon 2023. So that's been really cool. So basically Vin from Revenant Reads started that, and there's lots of people that are hosts that have already done loads of content on their channels about history books. And then I only did one video about history books before this happened about a year ago. And I'm a history graduate, so I'm very interested in history. I did a degree in it, all that. So I do have an interest in it, but I did a video sort of raving about the event, and then Vin sent me a message going, "Do you want to co-host?" I was like, "Yeah, right, cool." So I know that I'm going to really probably go overboard when it gets into the middle of the year when we talk about the Middle Ages and early modern period, because I really like that period. But I'm going to be discovering some stuff about ancient Rome this month, which would be cool. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that because it's going back to my past, if you like, of being a history student and all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of cool.
That's
I
awesome.
know Micah does some stuff on history, don't you, Micah?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So his content's really cool on that. And also, this is the second time I've co-hosted something. So the first time was New World November, last November, which was really, really cool getting asked to co-host that. And that's been followed up by a book club. So there's the New World's SF book club, which we're second month in, and I've got to try and get that book, Blind Sight by Peter Watts. I've got to try and find a way of getting that. But yeah, it's been great. And like you're saying, like all these people that we're going to be talking to, and you know, it's just awesome. These friends that we make, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I'm glad you everybody was able to like hang out with me today. So next up, we've got down here Michael Romeo, one of my favorites. How are you, buddy?
Great. How are you doing?
Good. So basically, Michael, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Talk about your booktube experience, the experience that you had when you got your shout out, your channel growth, what your channel is all about. You've got the floor.
All right. When I first started my channel, which was in January of last year, I felt kind of at sea, kind of alone, and wondering, you know, how to navigate this.
Yeah.
And then come February, all of a sudden there was this person shouting me out, which was you. And I'm like, oh my God. So it just was like this explosion of camaraderie that it just made me feel welcome into a community that up until then I had felt like I kind of just been sitting at the outside rim looking in. And all of a sudden it was like you kind of took my hand and pulled me in and said, hi, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. So talk about your channel and the growth that you've had, and your reading projects, your genres, your favorite genres, just in case there's somebody in the chat that doesn't know you.
Yeah, well, my favorite. Oops.
Go like that.
He's dancing.
Oh, I think he's disconnected.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
All right, we'll pick up with Michael. Michael, we lost you. We'll pick up with you. All right, so we have something in the meantime. All right, let me see if I could do this. Fred is in the chat. Fred is awesome. And I don't know if everybody knows this, but Fred has been he's been with the series since day one. He was one of the first booktubers I ever shouted out.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is Fred isn't comfy yet with going live, but he made us something. So I'm going to play it for all of us so we can see exactly. And I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know what he's going to say.
Awesome.
But I'm going to share my screen and we'll be able to watch Fred, okay? And Fred, thanks in advance for doing this. This is awesome. All right, let me see if I could share it. All right.
Here we go.
Let me know if everybody can hear it. Yay! Cheers, Fred. That was awesome. That was so much fun.
Could you hear it, Micah? I couldn't hear it.
I could not. I was trying to get the volume up. He was
thinking. I'm gonna play it. I'll try and play it again. He was thinking.
I was mouth reading.
Yeah. For the shout out, congratulating and just wishing us good luck in the future. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
gonna do something with that volume. I was doing sprints yesterday and the same thing happened. So
Man.
we'll have to try again.
He's got a great channel. I love his overall his vibe over there is so chill. I love watching him.
And the thing is, like, I don't, no offense to people in the science category and in the history category and the nonfiction category, but I watch his content, and sometimes I want to pick up a book, But
Absolutely,
it's one of those things where going outside of your comfort zone is good, and his videos are always on point.
Absolutely,
I like how honesty is in his videos, and it's very like Mike said, it's very chilled, but it's also really. You can tell that he cares about the videos he's making, which is really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So maybe towards the end, I'm going to try and play it again. Maybe all of us in here, what was affecting the audio.
That might be it.
Yeah. All right. So let's see who's all here. Oh, let's get to some chats. Let's see. Wow, there is a lot to catch up on. There's a lot. Wow, there's so many people here. Okay, so we had Roy. Roy was here. Roy Reads Anything. His channel is awesome too. Jess, we got Roy. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Alan woke up early in Portland, Oregon. Good to see you, Alan, if you're still here. Chatty's here from the UK. We've got Crystal. Note in a book, since you recommended doing shorts, MJ, I've done a few and gained a lot of subs that way. I'm 11 away from 200. I try not to miss a small booktube support because I'm learning so much. Wonderful. That's the goal. Chatty says, absolutely, MJ's Discord is where I felt I made a lot of booktuber friends. Yeah. Oh, John was here. Hi, John. How are you? There's Fred. Discord is great. I enjoy the extension to the booktube community. Yes. Crystal says, same for me, Fred. I really enjoyed Discord. Alan says, this is great. What a surprise this Sunday morning. I have not participated in Discord. I'm so new. I don't even know what that is. It's just a good place to chit chat with subscribers, viewers, and fellow booktubers. William said, yeah, I'm no horror booktuber either, but I watch many horror booktube videos. Wonderful. Chatty's going to send links out. Roy, I haven't read any horror for years, but I've got back into it via booktube. What genres do you think you guys have like dipped into outside of your normal zone because of booktube or want to? Oh, we got a guest appearance.
Ralph.
Hi, Ralph. Oh, there we go.
Hi,
Ralph. Do you want to go first, Micah? If you what books have you? Sure.
Well, it's sort of haven't started yet, but I'm planning to with is it Rogers Cheapo Book Club that's starting up next month with A Prisoner of Zinda.
Nice.
So I picked that up, an ebook and audiobook. So I'm going to be starting that. I think that starts in February, so just a couple of days.
I love that.
But I really haven't read much science fiction at all. Very little bit of fantasy, mainly just the Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Nothing else. So I'm hoping to branch out this new year with some science fiction and fantasy.
That's awesome. I love that. How about you?
Awesome. Well, I read a lot of science fiction fantasy. I have done since I was a teenager, so I've been doing that for many years. So I've never done a beginner's guide to science fiction because like there's so many on BookTube in there that I thought what benefit would it be for me to do one? But maybe I could do one. But
that'd be great.
I've read. Say again.
Oh, it would be great if you would do one.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'll have a think. Yeah. I think the thing that I've delved into that I don't think I would have done before is crime, and I think that's a lot of that's down to Ollie. But crime books, I never really thought about reading them, and I've read a few in the last couple of years, and it's sort of spurred on by Ollie. And I've just got out The Big Sleep from the library, so I'm going to get into The Big Sleep at some point. But yeah, I'm enjoying the crime thing.
Nice.
So I think that's probably the most obvious thing that has been quite new, thanks to BookTube.
Awesome. All right. So let's see. Mike, I see Michael popped in. I don't know if he's. Let's see.
There he is.
He's buffering. He's
trying.
We'll see. Michael, you might want to hop out and come back in. You're buffering. All right. I'm going to take him out. Okay. So let's see. Bandy's Books is here. Good morning, everyone. Happy to have woken up nearly enough to catch a bit of the chat. Fantastic. Flossie's here. Says hello to Michael. Oh, read by Fred. I remember the first video I watched of yours, Michael Romeo Talks Books. You were recommending the top sci-fi books your brother-in-law enjoyed. Courtney.
That's a great subject.
I think Courtney's going to be popping on too at some point. Yeah, no sound. I know. Couldn't manage to link the chat. Found your channel, subbed, added it to your latest mom reader tag. Nice. I know, no volume. I know. Let's see. Fred, you are awesome. You can do it next time. Oh, yeah. We got to get Fred live. That'll happen one day when he's ready. I've gotten over my camera shyness. Booktube was my way to push myself out of my comfort zone, but I'm still not ready for a live stream. Sorry. That's the hardest part. It's just like uploading your first video, doing your first live.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing. Once you get over your first live, you're like, it's not so bad. I'm just talking to my friends.
Yeah.
You know?
I suppose with any of this, you got to be okay about making a mistake or saying something stupid, isn't it? You just got to be okay with that. You okay with that? Just get back on.
It's wonderful. Jess says she's still new to Discord. She recently just opened up her new Discord, and Jess is starting a book club, and they are reading The Scarlet Letter in February.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be taking part in that.
Fred, shout out channel. There we go. Awesome. So cool. So what are you guys reading right now?
You want to start, Gareth?
Yeah, well, I'm going to start because I'm about to start the fables, fairy tales, and folklore thing. I'm about to start my big, complete Brothers Grimm collection.
Awesome.
So that I'm going to do that quite slowly. So I'm only going to read like a few pages at a go. So I'm not going to go mad with it because I want it to take. I want to take time with it. And the other thing I'm going to start. Sorry, Ralph. Oh no, where's it gone? There it is. Carrying the dog because I know he wants to be on me. Is this Ray Bradbury book? Nice. Because I'm starting Ray Bradbury, so
it's a great cover.
So this is from the mid-40s.
Wow.
So yeah, they were reissued, which is quite cool. So these are crime stories from Ray Bradbury. So linking lots of things we talked about. But most of his stuff is science fiction, fantasy. So
yeah.
I'm going to be reading those starting from tonight.
Awesome. Can you believe it's almost February?
Yeah, I know. January went so quickly.
I know. I got to think about all the stuff I'm going to be reading for February. Oh, we got Michael back. Hey, Michael. We could see and hear you. Can you see us?
There we go.
I don't know if he can see and hear us. He might be stuck.
Yeah, he might be having Wi-Fi issues or something.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep you backstage, Michael, until I could see you. Give me a wave when you're ready. Let's see. Notes in a book. Ooh, Brothers Grimm. Jess said, the monster on the Ray Bradbury looks like Ghostface from Scream. Yeah, it did a little bit.
Yeah. They're still making those films, aren't they? There's like 6 of them or something now. I don't know. But yeah.
A new one coming out or something like that.
It's impressive.
The one thing that I wanted to do, and I didn't do it because work has just been crazy and time has been crazy. I wanted to do like a trivia, like Q&A or something like that, but I just don't have it in me. So I am still doing giveaways. So anyone that puts a comment in the comment section is going to be entered into giveaways. I just got these this week. I don't know if you could see them. It's a vinyl sticker of my little channel bumper. So we've got stickers, and I also have Reading This Life bookmarks and some other bookish stickers. So I'm going to make like maybe 5 or 6 little envelopes, and I'm going to, do a video and put everybody in the wheel, and I'm going to pick like 5 or 6 winners, and I'm going to ship them out. But you have to leave a comment in the comment section in order to be entered, okay? So we're going to make it fair and square. But yeah, aren't they cute?
Those are fantastic.
They're awesome. That's so cool.
It's a little PR, a little treat for everybody, and it's just,
They're really good.
Yeah.
I'm looking at them on my screen as well as the little screen here.
There we go.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question about the giveaway thing? Because I've got a little bit of a dilemma.
Sure.
So I did my first giveaway a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I've had one person reply.
Okay.
So do I do another announcement, or do I just go? I'll just give them the book I mean, what do I? Because they gave me a fantastic reply because it was like a little game as well. Like the idea was to look at the intros of my videos and try and guess what films they're from. And if you get 3 of them, you get my poetry book.
Yeah.
But I've only had 1 reply. So do you think I should?
Were they correct?
Say again.
Were they correct with the answer?
They did. They actually did loads, and they got 3 right, at least 3 right. So they could get the book. Yeah. But I was going to put people in a hat and pick one out. But clearly, I was a bit ambitious about who I thought might reply.
Yeah. Because that person followed the rules and because that person did it, that person should get the
Just the book.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Yeah. It's a lovely message.
I saw your contest and I'm like, I don't think I can do it.
I made it too complicated.
I didn't think I'd be able to answer any of them.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I got all excited about the idea because I quite enjoyed doing those intros. But yeah, it does make it more complicated than just leave a comment because that's genius. Leave a comment, makes sense.
It's fair and square.
Why complicate it?
Right, it's fair and square, and then you do the wheel. Now, when I gave away that signed Neil Gaiman book, oh man, the moans and groans that were going on between me and my husband because Ollie won it, and I'm like, of all people, the wheel picks him. We're like, I edited it out, but I'm like, no, it's more books than anybody. He doesn't need it. Fair and square, he won it.
Yeah, that's the rules, right?
That's it.
He mentioned it. He mentioned it on his channel yesterday, I think, didn't he? He said about it.
Yeah, he did. And let me tell you, I shipped that sucker over to the UK in November, and he got it. I think he got it like right after New Year's because of that mail thing y'all had over there. It literally.
Yeah, we had some strikers
with the mail strike.
Yeah. We had some issues with Christmas presents and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's an important job they do. Although deliveries have been weird around here lately because then there's a couple of companies that just randomly put it in places that just get. I've got this one company that keeps just leaving them on the door. So I live on the main road as well. So I definitely had one of my Christmas presents just nicked because they just put it on the in front of the door.
Wow.
That's a bit stupid, isn't it? But there we go.
Oh, all right. Let's catch up with some of the chat. Jim is here. Hi, Jim. He said Scream 6 is out this year. Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
Oh, now MJ, do you really want us making everyone jealous with all that swag? Well, I'm giving the swag away, man. Just leave a comment. Just leave a comment. Oh, Crystal says, I meant to get back to your giveaway video, Gareth, but totally forgot. Bitter Almond is here. Hello, BA. BA is one of my favorite subscribers. Porch Pirates. Awesome. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. So let's talk about for anyone that is starting a channel, thinking about starting a channel, or there are some newbies in here too. What is one of the best things advice-wise that you can tell someone? And also, what is the best piece of advice that you both received? Take a few seconds and mull it over.
Well, I've got something, Micah, if you're all right with it.
Yeah, take it away.
One of the things that I've learned to do, which I think is okay, certainly I definitely believe it's okay, is to be kind of reconcile yourself with the ums and the ahs.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because when I first started doing them, I was so paranoid about the amount of times I said and I kind of tried to get rid of them all, and it's just ridiculous because it's just editing frenzy. Yeah. So you need to just relax and know that you're going to say and and just leave it really as much as you can.
Yeah, I completely agree. And for me, when I do those that's just my brain catching up with my mouth.
Right.
That's it.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good piece of advice, Gareth. The big one for me was just having to just force myself to sit down and film something and upload it. Mm-hmm. I was spending days and days and days trying to figure out what video I needed to do first, how I needed to present myself, thinking way overthinking the questions to the Booktube newbie tag, which is how I decided to start. And at some point you just have to sit down and film something and upload it and break the barrier of the intimidation of having your face out, for the world to see. You just have to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree. My channel, when I first started YouTube, I was faceless. And then I'm like,
really?
yeah. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a booktube channel, and it's on like Donkey Kong. Like, let's just do it. And I'm glad I did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to go back and see your first videos. I've only seen since you've shown your face. I haven't seen the earlier ones.
Me too. I didn't realize.
I had like a fashion channel, so I would do like vintage handbags.
Really?
And I would just do like hands up with my hands, like talking about the bags and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. How long did you have that channel before you started Reading This Life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had it a month and a half.
Oh wow. Okay.
A month and a half, and then
that's fantastic.
I started thinking about it, and I'm like, I love books, and I recently discovered BookTube, and I'm like, I think that could work. I think that could work way better, and financially
so cool.
way better too.
Right, a book's a lot cheaper than a handbag.
Yeah. Oh, let's catch up with some comments. Jim says, post regularly at a pace you are comfortable with. Yes, I agree. Nose in a Book says, I do ums and ahs so bad. I'm getting better at catching or at least editing some out. But don't hold yourself to editing all of them, because it's fine. Nobody even pays attention to it.
Yeah.
Courtney says, BookTube is not just putting out videos, but also showing support and watching other people's videos too. 1000%. Yes. Bitter Almond says, I do a lot of and like. I'm in SoCal. Totally. Totally. Let's see. SoCal. Yep. Thrills and Kills is here. Hi. Good morning, Sarah. How are you? Roy says, yep, put stuff out and learn as you go. Most of the learning is subconscious anyway. No effort required.
No, Roy's absolutely right.
Yeah. Bitter Almonds, I crash landed on BookTube due to e-reader videos. There you go.
There we go.
Nose in a Book. Yes, to Tangible Reads. The community is the best part. I've been watching BookTube for 8 years. So when I joined recently, I was so excited to be able to communicate with other booktubers. That's fantastic. Brian says, exactly, as with most undertakings, stop thinking about it and just do it. Have some fun. You're not saving the world here.
That's a good thing to remember.
Yeah.
Take it seriously.
The best piece of advice for the new channel starting out, for me, joining reading events and interacting with people in the community helped me feel like I was a part of BookTube. Yes, and you are. Jess says, I do a lot of ums too. Don't forget you are only human. Totally. Flossie says, don't give up. It may be a slow process, but quitting won't get you there any sooner. 100%.
Yeah.
Courtney says, don't compare yourself to other booktubers. Exactly.
Yeah, that's really important.
Is the thief of joy. If you start nitpicking what other booktubers are doing and what numbers are and all that kind of stuff, you're just bringing your own vibe down. Just do you. That's the best advice I can give anyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can only fake inauthenticity so long until the viewers will start to realize that you're putting on a mask.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that there are channels that do that, but you can get a sense of who is authentic, who is showing up as themselves every single day. I know, Micah, that if I was in your area, we would go to lunch and be just like we are right now. Same thing with you, Gareth. It would be the same. It would be the same thing. Probably a lot more laughs, but but we would be the same people.
Oh, can you imagine if we could all get together? How cool would that be? Like,
that would be amazing.
Let me tell you. I had this thing going on in my head. I'm like, what if we did a meetup at the Strand? What if people?
I was thinking the same thing, MJ.
What if people got to? Because I know there's a few that are interested. I'm like,
I was thinking the same thing.
What if we got together and we went to their little meeting room? Is that the antique book room? The rare book room. What if we were able to secure that and just had everybody show up? And we'll film a little, and then we'll all go book shopping and have lunch.
It would be so cool. It's like everyone buy a ticket, meet here on a weekend. It'd be amazing.
And then we would have to I would volunteer to fly over to the UK and hang out with all my UK buds. I need a vacation, man. But I'm telling you, if we could do some type of not a conference, but just like a meetup, that would be awesome. That would be so cool.
So special.
I know.
That would be cool.
But that's the thing. That's so indicative of what's really nice about this, that we're becoming genuine friends, isn't it? This is not like, this is not an independent thing where you put a video up. This is about making friends, which is so cool.
100%. Yeah, and it's like a different layer of friendship. It's hard to explain, and I try to explain it to my husband as best as possible. But he's like, those are just people online. I'm like, no, they're not. Like it's not just people online. Like these are people, and I'm in their lives, and they're in my life, and that's just how it is. You know,
For people outside the community, it's hard to explain.
Yes.
My wife says, "Are you going to watch some people talk about books again?" I'm like, yeah.
Like some people, these are my friends.
Yeah, and they're real. Like I know they're real. They're not just imaginary, you know?
Right.
Gosh, I'm telling you. But you don't know until you experience it. That's the whole thing. Now, my husband is a sneaker guy, so he watches all the sneakerhead videos and all that stuff. He collects them and all that. So I tell him, I'm like, it's as if you were talking to those people that have their shoes. It's the same thing, but replace the shoes with the books. And then it clicks with him, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
I'll tell you what, I'd much rather read a book than read a shoe.
Well, yeah, 100%, 100%. And I'll tell you, when he comments on videos and they don't comment back, he's like, "How come they won't respond to me?" I said, "Because they're too big." I said, "You comment on a Booktube channel, that creator is going to respond to you. I guarantee it."
Yeah.
All right,
Absolutely.
let's catch up with some comments. We got a ton. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we got Jim says, do some tags, tag some folk. It's a community thing. Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
Williams Library, the best part of Booktube for me is when others pick up and review books I talk about. Yes. Courtney says, don't feel like you have to read 20 books a month. Do you? Correct. I just held myself to that standard this month. That's just me.
You can't all be Ollie.
No, I don't want to be.
But the video he said in the video yesterday, he said, "I'm hoping to get through these two tonight." I was like, "Wow."
Yeah.
So his weekly wrap up was 7 books.
Yeah.
Good grief, man.
And two is not a great week for him. But hey,
2 would be a lot for me.
That's what he's good at. That's what I tell him.
I love it.
Yeah. Sarah says, I agree with you all. There's a difference between confident and polished presentation versus a fake persona. 100%. Nose in a book. That's always an amazing feeling, William. It's nice to know people trust your recommendations. Jess says, for anyone that's thinking of starting a channel. Oh, wait, Michael's here.
Oh, good.
Let's get him in.
Oh, he's back. Oh, not quite.
I think he's
so
back.
Close.
We're almost there, Michael. We don't see you.
Oh,
He's
man.
not. I know.
Must be a Wi-Fi connection on his.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. He's here, but we can't see you yet, Michael.
It's so frustrating. I've been in that position before.
Yeah.
We're holding fingers for you, Michael. Hang in there. Yes, Jess said, for anyone that's thinking of starting a channel, just jump in and do it. If you make mistakes, you learn from them and you continue to grow. 1000%. My gosh. Jim says, the nearest booktuber I know is 1,000 miles away from me. Wow.
Yeah, they are. We're all scattered.
Yeah, but the internet brings us all together too, which is great.
Absolutely.
And it's a live chat, isn't it? So it's awesome that we're speaking in real time.
I know, it's great.
It's really cool.
Crystal says, I would love a Booktube meetup. That would be so amazing. Crystal, let's make it happen. We're going to make it happen, people. I'm telling you. And it's like, we'll just set it up. And if people want to come up, they can come up. And if they don't, they don't. That's all. Grape Jelly said a book family. Yes. Sarah says, my husband doesn't get it either. I know. Chatty says, LOL, having the same conversations in my house.
Can I just say that yesterday, my wife was out when we did the reading sprint.
Yeah.
And I think she would have found that especially hilarious that we would have been reading together. We get it. But I know that she would have been like, what are you doing?
I tried to explain a sprint the other day to someone who didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's like a live video call where you read.
Right.
And it's like, why would you do that?
Because
but it makes you focus, doesn't it? It's good.
Does.
And you can chat about it in between the
focusing.
Yes, it makes you focused. It makes you accountable. It keeps the distractions away. All of the above. Sprints are magic. Until you try one, do not judge it. That's what I tell people.
Yeah.
And they get addicting too. Like, I love doing sprints now. I get so much done. I started my book yesterday at 12%. I ended at 42%. That's awesome. That's so awesome.
Fantastic.
All right, let's see. Crystal
Stop
says,
watching other YouTube channels instead of reading, eh?
I know. Crystal says, haha, I always call y'all my book friends when I'm talking to my husband about BookTube. Yep. Tim says, it's always confusing for outsiders. My wife recognizes the sound of some of the booktubers I watch.
There we go.
Chatty says, I had to do homework. Going back through the chat. We'll catch up the film stuff later. Awesome. Alan says, yes, you're still here. Don't get it sideways. Nose in a Book says, I found a fellow BookTube newbie I went to middle school with, and recently we have connected. That's crazy.
Oh, awesome.
The two of us and one other booktuber started a BookTube friend chat on Instagram and talk every day. That's
so cool.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
It's a booktuber
It's a BookTube thing.
Yeah. Read by Fred, yes. MJ can't hear it. Oh, he's probably catching up. All right. For those who have no explanation, for those who know no explanation is necessary. For those who don't, no explanation is possible. Yeah. Completely agree, Jim. I completely agree. We need a t-shirt saying it's a BookTube thing. You wouldn't get it.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. This is so much fun. Oh my gosh. I think Courtney is going to pop in at some point. I wish Michael would try again. I hate when tech things don't go through, you know?
Yeah, it must be really frustrating for him.
I know.
There's no limit on participants in StreamYard, is there?
There's 6
For
the free. It's 6, and then if you do the premium, it's unlimited. So I get 6 little spots, which is nice.
Because I could bump out if you think it would let him in.
No, it's probably his connection. I think we're good.
Makes sense.
Let's see. Bandy says, I travel quite a bit, so on my next trip, I have a list of booktubers I like to grab coffee with. Yes.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And it's not stalkery, right? It's not stalkery.
Well, I've been to America once, and I went to California. I went to LA, and it was an amazing trip. And there's a video actually on the Beamers channel about it, which is a really funny video. You can probably imagine there's a lot of silliness in it. But now, if I go over to America now, I'll be like, who lives near where I am? You know, is there anyone I can, I can meet? You know, but it was before I did this. It was about 4 years ago.
Any travel coming up, like if I know where you live, MJ is gonna reach out to you, and I'm gonna be like, "Yo, listen, where am I? This is my vacation plans. Where can I fit you in? Let's get together."
That's my plan from here on out too. Anytime I go anywhere, it's like, all right, who do I know who's 30 minutes from this location?
Absolutely. I get a twofer. Crystal and Michael Romeo Talks Books are in the same state, so that's a twofer right there.
Oh, Crystal's in North Carolina as well.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well,
awesome.
Obviously, me and Ollie are quite close, so we are gonna meet up at some point. We've said it for a while, but obviously, time goes very quickly. But Brighton and Portsmouth are quite close. They're only an hour away, so.
Yeah, and Patty's not far from you guys either, I don't think. I think she's in Brixton maybe or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we could all meet up in London then. Yeah.
You need a London booktuber conference. That's what we'll do the USA. You do the UK. How's that?
Yeah.
And then,
I love
we have to
London.
play the international.
Yeah. William says, how would the meetup work? We would enter a convention, greeting each other, say, hey, I love your videos. Yes.
By name tags. I'll BookTube channel names as a badge.
There you go. We'll just wear t-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hi, I'm sticker, and then just our YouTube handle.
Yeah, that's it. Alan says, I love meeting tubers in person. Yeah, Alan, you've met a few. Let's see. Sometimes I meet some travel YouTubers coming through Georgia, the country. That's awesome.
That's really cool.
She's in Brighton. Chatty's
in
Brighton.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Chatty's in Brighton as well.
They're all in this London calling. Jim says, my only trip to the U.S. was in 2009. I visited New York, Chicago, and Bryan, Ohio. People ask why Bryan. It was because of a friend I had met in Second Life. Jim, I used to be on Second Life long time ago. Long time ago. That was a Durrani thing. Chatty says, UK BookTube meetup, the British Library for the UK. Look at it. She's organizing already.
There we go.
Love it.
Bandy says, way back when, as a teenager, I wrote fanfic and actually met quite a few of my BookTube friends across the strait, across the states, England, Italy, and Ireland. That's awesome. Nice. That's very cool. Fanfic friends. Got it. Michelle says, yes, Chatty. There you go.
Is Michelle from the UK as well? I can't remember. I think Michelle is.
She was. Yeah.
I think she's in Scotland. Is she in Scotland? I think she's in Scotland.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good old plane trip then. If it's Scotland,
Is it?
Yeah.
that's about. I suppose it's about 9 hours. I think drive down to.
Oh, okay.
So probably
Oh,
get a plane.
Yeah, so it's a
Um,
bit more of a haul there.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the. It's just the whole thing is just to call it the idea of actually meeting people in person.
Absolutely. Chatty says, "Whoop whoop." Okay, UK contingency. Come on. She's all for it. Yeah,
we could do it over Easter.
Edinburgh.
Yeah, Edinburgh. Yeah, that's it. Here you go.
Edinburgh. Did I say it right?
I've been to Edinburgh. Edinburgh's cool. Edinburgh's really, really cool. We were going to go there. Are we going to go there again? We got a thing. No, we're going to Yorkshire. Yeah, we're going to go to Yorkshire. We almost said we're going to go to Edinburgh again. We're going to go to Yorkshire. We got this special anniversary coming up. Me and my wife.
Oh,
30th wedding anniversary.
nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Chatty said, middle ground needed. All right, she's got her thinking caps on.
There we go.
Awesome. So yeah, well now my head's spinning about that. But Micah, I'm gonna message you. There's something interesting going on in New York in April. I think it's
sweet.
April. And I reached out to Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads, and I think he's gonna be away. But I'll message you this event too to see if you're
Please
interested.
do.
Yeah, I already told my husband, and he's like, "I'm not going." I said, "That's okay. I can navigate the city by myself, and I got books. I'll find friends. We're good.
There we go.
You need to maybe find a sneaker convention at the same time in the same city.
I don't know if his wallet can handle it, but yeah, I hear you.
There we go.
Chatty says, "Congratulations." Bandy says, "Edinburgh is one of my fave cities." Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Was it Burns Night already? I think it was. Yeah, I think it was already. Yeah, I missed it. I did a video last year on Burns Night. That was the first time I met Brian from Bookish. Brian from Bookish liked my video and he shared it. And he's like,
there we go.
Burns Night. Yeah. And I'm like, "You're awesome, Brian." That was like the first time I met him.
Cool.
Yeah.
Brian's videos are so brilliant. They're so he's so eloquent in when he does his videos, and they're so often, not always, but they're so often about something really important.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really good.
And
Brilliant.
I love those videos of his sometimes more than like his bookish videos, because he's saying he's starting really important conversations that need to be had. You know?
That a lot of people would avoid as well.
Yeah, and that takes a lot of bravery, 100%.
He reaches a lot of people that we don't, just because of his topics. They they leave BookTube and enter the YouTube as a larger group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Flossie's got to go. Heading out to the fitness studio. This was fun. See y'all on your channel or the next live. Much love, Flossie. We'll see you. Wonderful. Yeah, this is great. Oh, okay. Michael just messaged me. He's had Michael messaged me. He said he's got power issues. I don't know if there's a storm going on or whatever, but
there might be.
Yeah, come back in the chat, Michael, if you can.
We've had weird weather here, and I'm close enough to him that my weather is probably his weather.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He said the power flickered, so that's never a good thing.
Oh no.
We're just cold and dreary here today.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that, because that's good reading weather for me.
That is very good reading weather. Absolutely.
It's fantastic. So what else should we talk about? What else? I have no idea. We covered a lot, but I'm sure we could still carry on conversations. How about everybody in the chat? Do you have any questions for us that you want to ask?
I tell you what, MJ, we'll get the questions. We haven't mentioned the David Bowie thing, have we?
No.
Oh
no.
yeah.
What album are we on this week?
I think we must be about to start Hunky Dory, aren't we?
I don't know. I got to check the list.
We were doing The Man Who Sold the World, weren't we?
Yes. That ended yesterday.
Yeah. So yes, that's awesome. So, Michael, I don't know if you're a Bowie fan, but we've been there's about 4 or 5 booktubers that have been on this Voxer chat talking about Bowie's output and just lots of stuff about Bowie.
Really cool.
MJ got these loads of books that were Bowie's favorite books and all that sort of stuff. We're going to go through the whole year just looking at his output, which is quite cool.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
So like the whole 52 weeks of the year, 2 weeks are going to be dedicated to listening to one album when you can listen to it, and then we all chime in about what the music meant and what it's like to listen to it again. and then we're tying it in with movies and music and
Oh wow, what a great idea!
And his favorite books. So it's a really nice slow burn of Bowie all year long. Which is cool.
Oh, that's really cool. So you're able to sort of see some of his influence or what influenced him through his personal reads and everything.
And it's interesting. His son, after Bowie passed, restarted a book club on Twitter. And
really?
I think we got through 3 books, and one of them is called Hawksmoor. And it's a crime novel, but it deals in two different periods of time. So one is in like the 1700s and one is in like 1965 or something like that. But some of the language that's contained in the book are lyrics of Bowie songs. And when you read it clicks and you're like, that's where he got that from. And it's awesome. It's really, really cool.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I love
that.
But
his son is one of the best film directors out there. I think his son is amazing. Duncan Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant director.
Moon is one of my favorite movies. Yeah.
Really I talked about Moon on my channel a little while ago. Yeah, as 10 underrated films, I think. Moon is an amazing film.
Yeah. That's cool. Let's see. Alan says Milton's Paradise Lost next month. My 3rd read with a group, plus the Luminaires, plus Vonnegut's first player piano, plus James Baldwin. Nobody knows my name. Phew, that's a lot, Alan.
That's a good lineup, though. Wow.
Alan wants a sticker. All right, Alan. Jim says, "Oh, you pretty things." Oh, bye, Alan. Gotta go. Go 49ers. See
you later, Al. Yeah, he won't see this, but Al does mention my channel sometimes on his channel, and I'm grateful to that. So if you do watch this back, Al, after you've gone, then thanks for that.
That's awesome. I love that. All right, so let's see. Yeah, so anybody, do you guys have any questions for me? I'll take questions from you too if you have any.
Oh man.
Anybody have a question in the chat, feel free to ask. We're continuing this conversation as long as we can.
Well, I don't so much have a question as an observation about your channel that I really have taken some inspiration from. And that is, I really like the way that you have branched out a little bit from your channel just being about books to focusing on the community aspect as a whole and putting books as an aspect of your Reading This Life community. And I was thinking about that with your giveaways and with the merch that you started doing, how you incorporate your Watson shorts, and you it's more than just books at this point. And I think that makes people feel even more welcome because it's not just like, oh, you have to be a reader, come over to my community. It's about friendship on a deeper level.
Absolutely.
And so I've been trying to sort of on my channel, what can I do to make it more focused on the people, where the book is the sort of the momentum that keeps the videos going out, but it's about my viewers instead.
Yes.
Because so many channels, you watch them and you don't really feel, it doesn't feel like a community. You feel like you're just watching, especially the bigger channels. I mean, I'm talking the really big Booktube channels with, 50,000 subscribers.
Right.
Whereas when you're smaller and it's that community aspect, that adds so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mike, I really do love your slowing down in 2023 video.
Thank you.
I think those types of videos for us as booktubers to put out, I put one out about, reaching health goals or trying to get healthier through the year. I think those little nuances that we try to put out reach a different aspect of our viewers and maybe some new ones, and it connects us on like a deeper level. That's my take on it.
I agree. And I think sometimes those videos do also sort of leave Booktube and enter into the more general YouTube feeds. Because like my slowing down video, I mean, I think it's at like 900 views or something.
That's awesome.
It's like one of my best videos so far.
Yeah.
And it brought me a lot of subscribers, so I'm fairly certain that one sort of broke out, and the algorithm picked it up a little bit more, which again is great because it brings new people in.
Absolutely. And I'm just nuts about my dog, so I'm going to share him as much as I can.
Absolutely. I love those shorts.
But those lifestyle videos have influenced me because I've done some of those, mental health kind of videos, and just sort of, staying positive or whatever, those kind of things. I wouldn't have done those if I hadn't seen other people doing things that just veer off the books, like you say, Micah, and just go into a different direction, and just allows you to think, well, actually, maybe I can do that on my channel, which is great because I do think they're important as well.
Absolutely, because we're us as individuals, as people, our personalities are just not geared for books. There's a whole layer to us that people haven't seen publicly, and by showing those little snippets of other aspects of our life, really do make a deeper connection with our audience. I think.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree absolutely.
All right,
got some questions over here.
Yeah, let's see. Notes in the book. What is your favorite videos to film or watch? Guys, I'll let you take it first.
I love recent reads, reading wrap-ups,
Mm-hmm.
any sort of reading update. I like seeing what people are currently in the middle of.
Right.
And book hauls, because I think we all love book hauls.
We all love book hauls.
Let's see what people are
but
buying.
I really like really deep, long book reviews as well. If it's about 10, 15 minutes, I love that. If it's on one book, I think it's really cool because usually you sometimes get people talking about the themes of the book as well as the book itself, which is quite cool. And I try and do that. But yeah, I like the book review ones as well. They don't seem to be that popular, apparently. A lot of people say they're not popular in relation to their other videos. But I think book review ones are cool.
I'm trying to start doing more just dedicated book reviews. I used to only do those, and then I stopped because I didn't feel like people were watching them. But I think there is a need for those because, like you said, Gary, they're not that popular anymore for some reason.
Right. I honestly think that doing an independent book review, a deep dive of a book, holds up over time longer than a recent reads or a haul or something like that. Because I have one for O Caledonia, which is one of the best books that nobody knows about, that nobody's read, and people are watching it consistently a few times every week. And that was just an independent book review, and it keeps getting momentum, which is awesome to see. So I would say absolutely deep dives on single category books, people will watch. Definitely.
One thing I've noticed, a couple of my earlier book reviews on classic literature, over time they've got picked up by a lot of like high school and college students who were discussing those in class.
Yeah.
So I have one video that has like 1,000 views, and it's about a Dostoevsky short story. But apparently it's taught in some certain high schools, and so all the comments are like high school kids saying, "Hey, I have a discussion in this tomorrow. This helps so much."
That's awesome. That's
it's like, hey, that's pretty cool. Like you said, over time it builds.
Yeah. All right. I think we get Michael back. Let's see if we could add him to the stream.
Good. Come on, Michael.
I see him on my screen, but I don't see him in the live. Oh, Michael, I still don't see you. Can you hear us, Michael?
What?
No, it's not showing up, Michael. He's gonna keep trying. I would say for me, my favorite videos to watch are hauls and reviews. That's it. I'm a sucker for a book haul. I can't buy books right now, but I'll watch any video I can. 1,000%. All right.
The amount of time there's a science fiction guy who kind of specializes in book hauls. He does tons of them. Called Book Spiller, I think is his name.
I think I've seen him.
Yeah, have you seen him?
I have.
Yeah, and he the amount of times he's thrown the cover of a book up on screen, and immediately I'm on eBay seeing if it's available to get for like £3 or whatever. And I've got a few from his book hauls.
Nice.
Just from the cover.
Let's see. Christopher asked, do you ever have dreams you're making a YouTube video? I will tell you, when I first started my channel, I knew that YouTube was going to be important in my life because I had dreams of conversations with other booktubers.
Really?
Swear to God. And I never, and these are people I never talked to yet, but I distinctly remember, and I'm like, oh gosh, that's a premonition. Booktube is going to be huge in my life, I think.
There we go.
Yeah.
I never dreamed of making a video, but I've woken up and had a great video idea. So maybe that's the same thing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
What do you think, Gareth?
Have you ever had a nightmare making it?
Yes. No. Absolutely.
Let me ask, when do you guys think of like awesome ideas? Me, I'm driving in the car. Driving in the car, always something triggers me. Something gives me an idea, and then I hit the button on my steering wheel, and I'm like, make a note, and then I dictate a note for a video later.
There we go.
How about you guys?
Yeah. Well, Micah said earlier about do a video when you're ready, and whenever you want to do one, just do one. You said that earlier, didn't you?
That's how I like to do, especially on the weekends. But in the work week, I typically get my most ideas, like you, MJ, when I'm driving, either to or from work, or when I'm walking. I try to walk every morning, and so that's typically when I get good ideas, or in the middle of the workday when I can't do anything about it. So I pull out my phone and make a quick note.
Yeah.
I have a spreadsheet that's just full of video ideas, and then I can pull.
That's awesome. I used to try when I first started doing it like regularly, properly. I used to try and make sure I was upstairs next to my bookshelves, because obviously it's nice to have books behind you when you do a bookish video.
Right.
And then I realized that would actually make me quite difficult to do it whenever I wanted to, because I can't get into that room all the time. So I've been a bit relaxed about what the background is. So there's about 4 different backgrounds, but also like you said about doing it whenever you can or whether you want to. I did one in my lunch break at work a couple of days ago.
There we go.
And it was just it was a general, another kind of philosophical one called "You're Never Too Old to Learn." I don't know when it's going to go up, but it might be just 5 minutes of nonsense. But I just had this urge to sort of give over this argument: you're never too old to learn.
That's
really cool.
I love.
Again, like you said, just that helps. That almost goes back to the tips for starting a channel. Of if you don't hold yourself to having to have a steady aesthetic in your videos, it allows you a lot more video freedom of wherever you are. Just pull your phone out, talk for 5 minutes, and you're good to go.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, let's take some questions. Bandy says, have you learned to do SEO? I find the whole back end so complicated and confusing. My advice for that is to look at your analytics in little bites. Don't look at everything all at once. The research tab that came out not too long ago is extremely helpful because it tells you what your audience is watching besides your videos, what they're interested in, or what the search terms are that people are finding to get to your videos. So I would just take one little snippet at a time. Find out when your viewers are online, watching your content. Find out what those keywords are. Find out, where your people are from, how many subscribers are watching your videos, how many people aren't subscribed, and just chunk it out little by little. Don't look at the whole thing and get overwhelmed. Just look at one little aspect and focus on that. That would be my advice. How about you guys?
I don't know what SEO stands for. Is that me being dingy?
Search engine optimization. So basically, since Google owns YouTube, anything you put in Google as a search term, it could, throw back a YouTube video based on the search engine keywords that you put in. So that's supposed to be a part of the algorithm that will push your content out to people, or will bring people to your content.
I don't do a whole lot of it on my channel. All I've started doing is putting the title of the books that I'm talking about in the description, so that if someone searches in Google, it'll pull that up from the description box. But other than that, I haven't delved very much into it at all personally.
Yeah. I never know necessarily what the correct hashtags are to put in and stuff like that. But you just try and be accurate, I guess, and just think about what's in the content of the video, I guess.
Yeah. Typically, the only hashtag I do is just hashtag Booktube or reading or something like that, just very generic.
Yeah.
Oh, I've also been influenced. I don't know if it helps, but I've also been influenced by what comes up on the way it divides up on my chat on my TV when I watch YouTube, because there's a separate category for characters. So I always put hashtag characters as well.
Oh, interesting.
Just because I assume that's a thing.
Nice.
Yeah. That's really good to know.
Yeah. So we hope that helps, Bandy. Let's see. Crystal says, if I hadn't connected with other folks, I don't know that I'd still be making videos. The community keeps me going. 1000%. Yes. Let's see. William says, I had a dream where I shared an elevator with one booktuber.
Nice.
Awesome.
Oh, Jim says, long reviews. You won't like my 1 minute book review. I like your
I do like your 1 minute review.
Clever idea.
Yeah.
They're really good. The 1 minute reviews are good. I think obviously you can get a lot said in a minute, can't you? So
yes. I would do a 1 minute short and then do a long video just
That
to
would be cool.
wet the palate and then to bring people in. That's what I would do.
Well, I mean, the 1 minute book review is tough.
Yeah.
Trying to condense it all down, get your thoughts out.
I'm doing those 1 minute. Mike, I don't know if you know, I did get the Scribe. And
I've been watching your daily shorts.
And I'm trying to stay on top with the shorts, but I want to do that intro every time I do a short. And I goofed up yesterday when I was doing it, and my husband's like, "Oh, you goofed up, blah blah blah." I said, "You come in here and do this." I said, I have to get all this out in under 60 seconds, you know.
Well, when I watched it yesterday, I was thinking, "Man, this is awesome." But 25 days in a row, coming up with another thing to talk about for the Scribe.
There's
with the intro under 60 seconds.
Yes. And the first one I did in one take, so I get a pat on the back for that one.
That's impressive.
Because I was just excited. I'm like,
I feel pressured anytime. I've only done a couple of shorts, but anytime like I know there's like the countdown of how quickly I have to fill in.
Yeah.
It stresses me out. I can't do it.
I know. Did you ever, when you upload your videos, do you ever do the thing, turn it into a short on the side?
I've never tried that out.
You should try.
How does that work?
What it
upload.
does. Yeah, you're going to do your upload, and then when it says create a short, hit that, and then it's going to bring up your video, and then you have to find 60 seconds that you want to put up.
Interesting. Okay.
So you may want to do the introduction to a book. You may want to do something else, but something that'll grab people's attention.
Very cool. And then they go and watch the full
channel. Yeah.
Have you noticed
an increase when you've done that, MJ, of people going from the shorts feed to watching the full video? Are you able to tell?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Especially with the Kindle versus Kobo. A lot of interest from that. So that's kind of what I'm going for with the Scribe series. But the Scribe series, the shorts are going to be the independent videos, and then once a week I'm going to smash everything together.
Oh, nice. Well, maybe I'll do that because I'm about to do a Kindle Paperwhite 2021 a year later review. So maybe I'll do that. Short
if you put that into a short, you will see huge traffic. I guarantee it.
I've already filmed them, but I've been doing that. I've been doing a 100 album challenge, haven't I? Which have been shorts.
Yeah, and, this has been awesome.
Thank you, but it's quite mad because you say what the challenge is, and that's your 20 seconds gone. So you've got 40 seconds to say something about the album. And if it is one of your favorite albums, you're like, oh, I've got 40 seconds to say everything I think about this album. So yeah. It's a funny one, isn't it? But
you have to talk very fast.
It's a great it's a great mental exercise of quickly having a quick recall of exactly everything you want to say and getting it out quickly.
And I don't script anything with my videos. I script nothing.
That's awesome.
So it's just up here. And like when that camera's on and I know it's go time, it's like I turn into like a TV personality or something.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think that's great. I mean, because your videos come across super polished with your dialogue. It's impressive.
Well, thanks. But if you go back to my first ones, not so much.
We don't watch the first videos.
I was gonna say, do you guys watch your old cringy videos? Do you ever check them?
I accidentally watched, and I accidentally started watching one of my older videos, and I turned it off incredibly quickly because I was like, I don't want to see this. I was trying to make an edit of something, and it started playing, and I was like, please turn off.
How about you, Gareth?
Well, I did. I've not done it as a habit, but I did look at the first ever proper book reviews I did on here because I was going to review those books and figure out what I thought of them now. So I did that one. That was a video I did about 6 months ago. So that's the only time I've deliberately watched something ages after I've done it. I mean, there's a video I need to edit because apparently there's a double edit on it, and occasionally I'll get a message and like a comment will go, you need to edit that again. So I need to do that. But you just want to move on, don't you? Just want to move on.
Yeah. The one thing that I was thinking about was taking like a specific day and going back to see if I published a video on that same day and like watching it and then reacting to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there would be interest in that or not, but I just thought that'd be fun.
It's a fun idea. I think you might have to refer back to something you've done if you're going to do something thematically the same. So like, I know I did a video for International Women's Day on female authors. I'll have to look at that if I'm going to do it again because I might choose the same authors and it'll be like, why did you go on about the same people?
Right.
So that's true, isn't it? But-
All right. Let's see. Crystal says, oh, we did that one.
Yeah.
We got that one. We got that one. Crystal says single book reviews tend to gather more views over time than a lot of views right away. Yes, completely agree. Jim says book reviews can be evergreen. My Anna Karenina review keeps getting views, whereas many of my videos flatline after a week or so.
Interesting.
Chatty, Micah, that is awesome that high school kids are finishing your classics. Wonderful.
I just hope they're also reading them for themselves. I'm not trying to help people cheat here.
Right, you're not doing
Because I have a Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy, a 4-part. There's 4 parts in the novel, so I have a 4-video series. They're half an hour each, talking in depth about each part.
Right.
And so I'm like, please tell me you're also reading this along with me.
You're
Not
doing the work
just
for
listening to me.
You should call those Micah's Cliff Notes.
That's a great idea.
Let's see. Bandy says, it depends on the book for review. I found series reviews do well because every time a new part of the series comes out, you get a flood of people looking for reviews of the previous book. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Eliza's here from the West Coast. Hi, good morning. So great to see you guys on my screen this morning. Hi, Eliza. How are you? Chatty says, when I have a lot of strong feelings and like a book hangover, I go searching for reviews to help give me closure. So agree with single reviews being long lasting.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
To get the book out of your mind a little bit.
Right.
I tell you what, that's true. I often look at a review after I've read it because you want to kind of relive the book a little bit. And like that closure idea is brilliant because I think that is what it's doing. It is kind of closing the book for you. Yeah.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I tend to watch book reviews more after reading the book than before. I'll hear something about the book before that, and like, oh, I want to read that, but then I don't read about it. I just read the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then listen to people's thoughts.
Yeah.
You don't want it spoiled, do you? You want to see it, to read it with all fresh.
Really. That's the thing with me. Even though I know most people don't do spoilers, I still feel like I'm going to spoil something. So I'll be like, save, and when I finish the book, I'll go back and watch the review.
Yeah.
William says, oh yeah, people keep watching my book review of Robert Ludlum novel, on average 1 view every day. That's good.
Very cool.
That's great.
Oh, good afternoon from the UK. Hello. I have not seen your channel in a minute. It is good to see you. This channel was really, really cool. I believe it's a graphic artist. So this individual would do computer generated drawing while he's talking about a book, which is
that's really cool
and fantastic.
That is awesome.
I haven't seen the channel name before.
Yeah,
I'll check out the channel.
It's been a minute. I hope your channel is still up. Let us know if your channel's still up.
Absolutely.
Chatty.
I hate seeing channels that have been taken down. That happens. I'll see a comment of someone. I'll go to the channel and they've removed all their videos.
It really does. It really does break
Sad.
my heart. And there's some channels when I started that were a little bit bigger. And sometimes I'll just be like driving or something. And, you think about ideas and Booktube and everything. And I'm like, I haven't seen that channel in months. And then I'm afraid to go and look, because it makes me sad. Like, I know life happens to a lot of people and they're not able to keep up with content and everything, but I hope they don't shut their channel down because of discouragement or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or if you're not able to handle the comments anymore, just turning the comments off, but don't delete all your videos. That just seems so drastic.
Yeah, it feels like friendship ending to me. You know?
Like you just pulled out and taken everything with you.
I know. Steve Donahue always asks me, he's like, I wonder how many channels you shouted out that are no longer in existence. And I'm like, I'd say at least 15 to 20% at least. Yeah.
That's interesting. Because again, I mean, it's that starting out, it's brutal.
It's hard. And then, as soon as you get some creepy comment, you're just like, oh. The first comment I got literally was toilet humor. So
really?
Yes, they're like, oh, you read ebooks? Do you read in the bathroom? And I'm like, what do I do with this? This is like one of the first comments I ever got.
I imagine women get that more than men. I imagine.
But that's what I've heard.
But I'll tell you what. Once you are able to add those keywords in, it filters them out, so you don't get the comments anymore. Yes, you can add keywords into. I guess it's under your preferences, your system preferences for YouTube.
Okay.
You can add whatever keywords that you do not want people to mention, talk about, anything like that, and it automatically does not pop up. So it's almost like out of sight, out of mind.
That's a really good tip for anyone that's getting that kind of hassle, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
You know, so like, you know, I'm an Eagles fan. If there's a Cowboys fan out there, I could just put Dallas Cowboys in and they're not going to harass me.
I like it.
Now, a friend of mine that I work with, his wife really wants to do a booktube channel, and very nervous about being on screen. You know, very nervous as a whole of just doing it. And then after a couple of videos, they didn't want to do it anymore. And I think it was that idea of being nervous and anxious about doing it. So, you know, going back to, you know, a lot of what this is about, your encouragement for people to say, yeah, it's working, it's really good, your channel's great, that could keep them going. You know, it's not just about letting them grow the channel, but actually it might just keep them doing the channel, which is amazing.
Right.
And it's making connections like this here, you know, having friends to banter with, to bump ideas off of, to, you know, reach out and say, hey, this is going on in my channel. What do you think? You know, what do you think I can improve on? What do you think, you know, could be different or better, blah, blah, blah. And I think the community aspect of us as creators helps tremendously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chatty, that's great. Nice to feel it keeps ticking over. Jim says showers are good for stimulating the brain. Also long walks. Yes. MJ, do the one shot. I am trying to do the one shot with those shorts. I'm trying my darndest.
It's impressive.
Nose in a book. I made a short of a clip of one of my videos and it got over 1,000 views. The video did not. That's okay. At least I gained a few new subs. Yes. And those 1,000 viewers will see your future thumbnails because now YouTube links your shorts to your long form content. Jess has to go. Nice chatting with you. Thanks for hanging out, Jess.
Bye.
Jim says, book the like button to help me with the algorithm. Yeah, that goofy algorithm, man. I'm telling you. It's elusive. Chatty, I would like to see people's reactions to old videos. That should be like, we should make that like a week in Booktube for like all booktubers to just, you know, think about doing this for like one day during the week and just see everyone going through old videos and reacting. That would be awesome.
Fun. I think some of the bigger booktubers do that, don't they? I think some of the, I think Emily Fox, I think she's done one where there's a little kind of a square of an old video, and then she's commented about what she thinks about what she said before a few years ago, sort of thing. So it would be quite funny to do that.
I think like seasonal tags or like the end of the year tag or the mid-year freakout tag, like those would be good to do that with too. You know, like evergreen tags.
Yeah, last year I said I was going to read 5 authors for this year. So like the year before last for 2022, and I only read 2 of them. It was like, oops.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, I read other things.
Cliff Notes Tube. I think that's for you, Micah. Fred said, I try to jot down some notes prior to doing videos so that my videos have some structure and make sense, but I still make mistakes during my videos. More content for my blooper reels. Fred, your blooper reels are like excellent.
Yeah, your blooper reel was amazing.
Love that. In a book. Micah, I'm excited to watch your videos. I love classics. I also like romance and other genres. I'm a very eclectic reader, but I love classics like Far from the Maddening Crowd by Hardy.
Oh, yeah, that's a wonderful novel.
Eliza, I just checked out your channel, Den. Need more. Yes. I hope Den is still here. Kevin, watching as I'm walking on the beach of Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Hello, Kevin. Good to see you.
Hi, Kevin.
Bandy says, I'm so intimidated by shorts. I don't know why, but I struggle so much with doing them. Just do them. Just do them. Yeah. Put them out in the ether and see what happens. It's just like a baby bird. It's either going to fly or it's going to fall. It's one or the other. Reed and Riri, good morning. You guys are more awake than I am, catching up on these great comments. I wake up super early, so this is like midday for me right now.
I love that.
I know. Well, I mean, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning is one thing, but then it's like once 2 o'clock in the afternoon rolls around, like I got to get that extra hit of caffeine. Like I need something. But I always start my day between 4 and 4:30, and the first thing I do is make a cup of coffee and I spend time with a book.
There we go. I love that.
Sometimes that's when I go to bed, MJ.
I know. I know. If I see you on the Monday night stream, I'm like, Gareth, get to sleep. What are you doing up?
Yeah, I'm kind of known for it because I use Facebook a lot, and people are like, "How can you still be on here?" But it's like, well,
Yeah.
I guess I have a weird sleeping pattern.
I used to be a night owl, and now I'm an early bird, so it's kind of coming full circle, you know?
I am very much an early bird. The
Yeah.
morning's my time.
Jim says he's getting addicted to putting out shorts. Yeah. Are there any booktube channels that just do shorts?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm sure
not
there are.
There probably are, yeah. Or at
Yeah.
least focus on that. Don't know.
And I find you guys notice a lot of the shorts are being, people are putting them up on TikTok and then they're re-uploading them on YouTube. Have you
I
noticed?
know
have noticed, but I'm not on TikTok.
Logo.
Yeah.
On there.
YouTube is supposed to put out a logo for our own shorts. So when our shorts go over to TikTok,
Oh,
they'll
interesting. It's
YouTube.
branded.
Yeah. They're very interested in the branding, the whole branding situation. And now with shorts getting monetized, like it's just insane.
So MJ, do you do original content? Do you have TikTok first of all, and then do you do original content for TikTok, or is it always your recycled YouTube content?
I have a TikTok, and I tried it, and I will do original. Wait,
Okay. Wow.
No, I have done TikTok, and then I have re-uploaded to YouTube. So I've been doing what the kids are doing.
There we go.
So I have, yes. But what I do enjoy when I'm doing shorts, and when you're choosing your music, you could put in little keywords for like the trendy things. You know how there's voiceovers for the shorts?
Right.
You can type in a million different things, and different voiceovers will come through, like that one. Grab the book that you're reading, turn to page 140, first paragraph, and that describes your personality. Those kinds of things are, genius over at TikTok. So I try once in a while to bring some of that over to YouTube, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
That's really interesting.
It's more than just music, is what I'm trying to say. And I'll actually ask. I think it was Sarah from Thrills and Kills. She was doing a few of them. And I said, Sarah, is this your original audio? Because I'm interested in like doing something similar. She's like, no, it's from TikTok. Like anybody can use it. And I'm like, okay, good. Noted.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Did you try TikTok, Micah?
I have never. I'm only on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
you guys are on Instagram as well, aren't you? Are you?
Nope.
I'm on Goodreads.
Oh no, you got rid of it, didn't you, MJ? Sorry.
And then just YouTube. I had an Instagram account about 2.5 years ago for a couple months, and I didn't get on with it well, and just pretty quick.
A lot of people like it, but I'm telling you, since I dumped mine, I've just been reading a lot more, and my mental health is happier. I'm not worried about what other people are talking about, what other people are creating. I don't need it, and it's worked better for me.
I try to minimize the amount of time sucks that I have in my life.
Yes.
So Booktube's a big enough one because I just want to watch Booktube videos all day.
And I'll tell you what,
it's a lot anyway, isn't it?
do you ever go through that little screen timer that comes up once a week and it tells you where all your stuff is? So number one is YouTube for me. Number two is like YouTube Studio.
Yep.
So I know where my time is being spent at least.
Absolutely.
Oh, let's see. Notes in a book. There are channels that just do shorts. I'm subscribed to a few. That's fascinating.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to go find those.
Yeah. Secrets Read. Hello, good morning. Happy 1-year anniversary to this wonderful idea. Thank you so much. Courtney says, I noticed Shorts logo on my shorts. Okay, so they did do a logo then. All right.
That's cool.
Yeah. Jim says, I sometimes put out my shorts on Instagram Reels. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Nose in a book. I do Instagram Reels and then put them on YouTube. Multi-platform. That's the way to go.
Definitely.
Patty, so much for so much fun having out with you all. Been doodling and read what your own journal now to be parent and catch up with the rest later. All right. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Courtney, are you going to pop in with us? Let me know. How about, let me think. Somebody just gave me an idea. Oh, cross promotion. Do you guys do cross promotion for your channels in any way, shape, or form?
Discord. I'll put I know you have your share your content. Ollie has one. Michael has one. I put it in my own.
Yep.
I actually do a lot of cross promotion through my Goodreads account.
Nice.
And it actually has been really good for my long form reviews. I'll do a written review separate from my video review, and then I'll link to the video in that Goodreads review.
Oh, fantastic!
And I actually get a lot of traction back to my channel from from doing that.
That is fantastic. I don't think we're friends on Goodreads. We have to be friends.
I don't think we are. I'll have to find you on there.
It's going to be the first thing we're going to do.
There we go. I just got a friend request from Ollie the other day, so I'm trying to get all my BookTube people over.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll double check.
Who requested you? That's an honor.
We're on Goodreads. Yeah, because I use Goodreads a lot. I like Goodreads.
I can watch him update every day when he finishes a 300-page book.
Right. Nose in the Book says, I post about my new videos on my Instagram posts and stories. Jim says, when I put out a video, I will share the link to Facebook, Reddit, Pinterest, and Twitter. Ooh, Reddit. Wow.
I've heard Reddit is really good. I have a couple of non-booktuber YouTuber friends who can say that Reddit is a really great place to cross-promote, but I've never delved into that.
Yeah, I only do Twitter, and if I remember to do Twitter, I'll just put the link, because book Twitter is a whole thing. And it's pretty interesting, but you can also go down a rabbit hole with what authors are talking about and what indie books are coming out.
Yeah.
But I do
find that helps your channel, having the Twitter account?
Yes, because I have had some retweets of my tweet.
Okay.
That goes to a large amount of people. So it does help. And some people will say, I found your channel through Twitter. So
okay. That's something I might consider in the future then.
Yeah.
I think the weird thing with social media is if you do it properly, it's like a full-time job, isn't it? It's like takes hours and hours.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like if you have if you have X number of subscribers, when do you start thinking about getting an assistant? When do you start thinking about someone to help answer your comments? Because that's what bigger channels do. Channels that have 40, 50, 100,000 subscribers. That's not the creator responding to you. That is someone else hired in the position to respond on their behalf. Just because of time, they can't get to all of them, which is crazy. It's crazy.
That's one reason I'm not in a huge rush to grow my channel any more than it has already grown, because I do enjoy personally answering my comments and interacting with everybody.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. 100%. Let's see. Jim is friends with you on Goodreads.
He is indeed.
Nose in a Book. Oh, yes. I share my vids on Facebook as well, but most of my personal friends don't care about my bookish stuff. Maybe a few do.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jim says Reddit has our BookTube subreddit. Ooh. I don't know do I want to go down a Reddit rabbit hole though? Is that something I want to do? I don't know.
Sounds risky.
I know. I don't know. See, now Jim says Twitter could be toxic. The only thing that I have on there is books. That's it. I don't follow news. I don't do any of that. It's just books and some booktubers that I know, and that's basically it. So I don't find it toxic at all.
That's good.
Fred said,
I never really connected to Twitter. I tried, but I can't find the time to put into Twitter. I tried, but I do use it sometimes. I go on it, and I always chastise myself for not using it more, but I know Twitter's a very good communicator, isn't it? So
it really is. And the fun thing is that, hold on. The fun thing is that I went on Twitter when it first came out in 2006. That was a long time ago. And there were no ads, there were no promotions. It was just nerds talking to nerds in 140 characters, and that was it. Wow. And it was a slice of awesome. And then as soon as people started catching on, and as soon as the verified check came out, that's when it all blew up. And then we had ads, and we had sponsorships and everything, and that's when it got a little much. But back in the early day, there was probably 1,000 people on Twitter, and I was one of them. And it was a thing of pure genius when it first happened.
That's cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Crit says Twitter, TikTok, IG, too many things to keep up with. I mostly just like YouTube and try to keep up with Discords. Yes,
that's me.
I agree.
Just too much.
Yes. Yeah. Nose in a Book. I love Goodreads. I need to find all you guys on there. Yeah. You can find it in my my channel banner. I have all my little things listed in the corner, and you just click on it.
And mine's in the description of all my videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got mine. Most of my videos. Sometimes I can't be bothered, but yeah,
right.
I need to. Most of my videos have got that description in there.
Yeah. Now, do you guys do this? This is a little trick. Do you know that you can put your description? You can preload it, so every time that you upload a video, your description is there.
That's what I
didn't
do.
know that. I didn't know that.
That's your trick.
It's
so
super helpful.
Yes. So what it
Super
does,
helpful.
it'll give you a foundation, and then just put what the video is and the books or whatever up top, and then you'll have all that other information preloaded already.
Yeah,
I have it loaded with my Goodreads and Discords and
it saves you
all that.
Yeah, I've got that part of my description is on a Word document, and for some stupid reason, it takes ages to load up on my PC. So sometimes I start it and I just think, so if I can put it up before, that's great.
Yes, you totally put it up before. True confessions. I've never done Goodreads.
What? Understandable.
There's nothing wrong with that. But Goodreads helped me remember what books I want to read, what books I am reading, and what books I need to read. Jim says, I don't spend much time on Reddit, just leave links there. Crystal says, Twitter is great for connecting with independent self-publishers also. Many of my indie horror authors I found through Twitter. Yes, I find that to be 100% accurate. And they're very supportive of the Booktube community, which is fantastic. Eliza says, I mainly just use Booktube and Bookstagram. Goodreads, I used to log my books and didn't realize people were adding me until recently. I'm so bad with tech. Yeah. I find I get more followers every week on Goodreads, and I'm starting to recognize the name. And I'm like, oh, that's that subscriber. That's that booktuber. And
it's cool.
It's nice making those connections.
Yeah.
Nose in a book. Mine is in my banner and video descriptions. Secrets Read. Where do you put the info preloaded like that? I constantly copy and paste. I can't get into it now, but it is in your like your preferences, and it will open up a whole new tab. So where you can do your branding, where you can do your banner, your profile picture, there's going to keep clicking, and there's going to be a section for description. You can put you can preload hashtags into your title for your video, and you can also preload information for every single description video, so you don't have to worry about it. Jim says, I just copy and paste my links from previous video to my current video. Yeah, you could do that too. You can do whatever works for you. That's what I say. But that helps save me a step when I'm doing a new video, because and it only works from your PC. If you upload a video from your phone, it doesn't catch that automatic description for some reason. Only from your PC. Fred says, it's nice to see what others are reading on Goodreads and seeing their progress. I find I hardly use Twitter anymore and only occasionally post to Instagram. Yeah.
That's literally is exactly what I've said. So me and Fred are clearly on the same page with.
There we go.
There you go. You're all synced up. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, let's see. How often now do you guys, when you use your Goodreads, do you update the progress of the book that you're reading, or do you wait until you finish?
I do update the page count just because I like to be able to see, even just for myself, the progression.
What percentage?
Yeah, for me, it's an encouragement to keep reading it, because especially if it's a big book, when I get through halfway, I'm like, come on.
Right.
I also like doing the page update, because if I want to share a quote from that page, it's great for the people to see, oh, that page is, that quote is from this page, so then go find it themselves.
That's cool.
That is wonderful. Nose in a Book says, I'm bad about updating my reading progress. I'm pretty good, but I could be better, I think.
I'm not always great.
Yeah. Jim says, YouTube has weaned me off my Facebook addiction. Yeah, I agree. Facebook is just for like my gym stuff and maybe like 2 family members, and that's it.
Yeah.
I use Facebook for the band I'm in, so that's Facebook is really important for that. And I've tried to develop Twitter for that. Not Twitter, Instagram for that, but that's still building. But yeah, Facebook is very useful for the gigs.
Yeah, definitely.
Jim, used to be MySpace. Do you remember MySpace?
Well, yeah.
Oh my God. Let's see. Jim says, I update my Goodreads every day. I like to see my progress. Yeah. I just don't want to get to that point. You know how you can be so into your stats. I don't want to be that person that's like, oh, I just read 5 more pages. Let me update that. I don't want to do that.
I always update at the end of a day. So it's always updating my entire day's reading progress. Yeah, because like you said, you want to be like, oh, just finish the page, add an extra page to read.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Let's see. Secrets read. I only update Goodreads when I complete the book. I think it auto updates if you are reading with a Kindle, though. Does it?
It does. You can link your Kindle to your Goodreads account. I actually have that set up. So when I finish it, it automatically marks it as read.
Okay. I'm gonna make an. But does it do your progress too, or no?
It does not do the progress. It only will do it when you start a book. It'll mark it as currently reading and then finish. I wish it did the progress. That would be cool.
That I would really enjoy that.
That would be a good integration.
Yeah.
Do you guys, sometimes? Sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, do you guys, if you are on a Kindle e-reader, do you share highlighted quotes with your community or anything like that?
I do. I share them on Goodreads.
Okay.
Occasionally, I used to do it a lot more than I do now, just because I've started highlighting less.
Mm-hmm.
But I do share them on Goodreads.
Okay. Cool. Let me see. Okay.
Yeah, Jim says for Dangerous Liaisons, he had about 80 highlights. I have a lot for that book too.
Cool. There we go. 80 highlights. Wow, that's a lot. That's awesome. Eliza says, okay, have to go get the kids ready for the park. Have a great weekend, guys. Yay.
Have a good weekend.
That's awesome. I was going to say something. I completely forgot my train of thought. About, I know. Something about Goodreads. Do you set goals for the year on Goodreads?
I have every year until this year. I decided to not do the reading goal, just see how many books I read.
That's fantastic. How about you, Gareth?
Yeah, and I set the bar lower than I think I'll read. So I've normally, because I'm not going to stress about it, but I also think it's nice to kind of acknowledge that you want to do that, because if it's a reasonable amount, it does mean that you keep a kind of keep aware of it. So I'd like to, as a minimum, read sort of 5 or 6 a month as a minimum, and usually I'm well over that by the time I get to the end of the year, but not crazy over it. So if I did a stupid number, I'd be stressing. So usually I put about 60 to 70 as a goal, and usually that's all right. But it depends on what happens in the year, really. I went right over that in 2021 because I had a spell in hospital, so recovering as well. I spent ages reading, so I read so many books in that summer. Wow. But I wasn't doing anything else, so
that's awesome.
So there was one thing I was going to say a minute ago. I just remembered was with doing more Booktube content but spending a lot of time either watching booktubers or putting out the content or rescheduling the content. That seems to take a lot of time. I realized that I was ignoring Goodreads a bit, so it'd be like I'd have another look at it and go, oh Christ, I've read 2 books by then. I haven't put them on there at all. So sometimes it's been uploaded a book, finished it, in seconds.
That's how I am with Storygraph right now. I think Storygraph is incredible for the data output, but for me going in there and putting the data in, I'm really bad with it. And I have to make myself notes, to do it at least once a week or I'm going to be drowning.
Yeah.
Do you guys use Storygraph too?
I haven't experimented with it yet, but I'm curious about it.
Micah, your Storygraph, I'll tell you what, your Storygraph would be incredible. I told Ollie his Storygraph would be incredible just to see the output, the volume of books that when people, that people read, how it breaks your mood down.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
It's mind blowing. It told me that I like moody books. I like dark books and one other thing, mystery maybe, or thriller.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And I'm like, Storygraph knows me. Storygraph knows me. And
it's fascinating.
It'll say, how many pages were in a book, how long it took you to read that book, just fascinating, the data output. And what you can do is you can import all of your books from Goodreads over to Storygraph. You can do it once. And it'll import everything that's in there over. It's about 95% correct. It will take a few hours to populate, but when you get the email to go in there, it's mind blowing. I'm telling you.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to do that.
Oh wow! I didn't know you could do that because the reason why I don't know if Micah is the same, but the reason why I hadn't tried Storygraph yet was because I've got thousands of books on
Right.
Goodreads. It'll take me bloody ages to put them all on. So if you can just do that, that's amazing.
You can export all of your information over to Storygraph and it'll populate it. It's going to take some time, but then the data that it will reveal about your reading taste is awesome. It really,
that is really good to know.
And that could be a video idea too. Just putting it out.
Oh, good point.
Import my Goodreads over to Storygraph. All right.
One of the things that I think Goodreads could be better at, and I think they did do it, but then for some reason I can't find it again, which maybe Storygraph would be better at, is that idea of what are your most read authors and how many books you read by certain authors, and that kind of thing. Because I did see it once when I first started reading Goodreads, but I haven't seen it since. And I'd be kind of curious to know, rather than just like looking at individual authors, to see who your kind of favorites were or your most read were.
And Storygraph does do that. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And they're not necessarily your favorites, are they? There might be people who just read or written a lot of books that you've read, But
it'll even populate if you read one popular author. It'll put it in that category, because I had so many listed from last year, and I'm like, I only read one book from that person, but it said that it was a favorite. So I don't know how they figured that out. But.
Okay.
Oh, Jim says, if you are reading a book for Garb August, you might not want to broadcast your Goodreads audience to what you are reading. Well, I'm very, very honest in my comments, and I did the Story of the Eye, and it's just one of those out there books, and I basically just put up a quick review. I had no idea what I was reading until I got to part 2, and part 2 helped me get connections from part 1 to part 2, whatever. So I don't care who's reading my stuff. I'm putting everything out there. And I'm sure people know, oh, Courtney's here. Let's get Courtney here. Hey, Courtney.
Oh, awesome.
Hello. How you doing?
Hello.
Sorry it took me so long to get together today. I've been having allergies, and I've been trying to find a time where I'm not sneezing and blowing my nose.
You're all good. You're all good. We're here. Hey,
Hi, Kara.
Hey, Courtney.
Hiya.
So Goodreads, I don't care if people know I'm reading erotica. I don't care if I'm still gonna review it. I'm still gonna put it up there. That's just me,
Nothing wrong with that. I like spice.
Courtney, introduce yourself really quick. I had these guys go through the ringer. Let's tell people a little bit about your Booktube experience, your experience with Support Small Booktube. You could talk about your channel, talk about any events that you have coming up, any events that you're participating in. You've got the floor.
Well, I'm Courtney. I have channel Tangible Reads there. I've been on Booktube a little bit less than a year. I joined Booktube because I'm an avid reader. I read a lot. I read a whole lot more than I'm in Booktube. I have been reviewing books on Amazon for well over a decade, a lot. And so I figured I would jump into Booktube, and I'm on Goodreads. I recently joined Storygraph, so I guess I'll do both and figure out where I want. But I read mostly like fantasy. I like fantasy, sci-fi, and horror is kind of mainly where I'm at. I read a little bit of everything. I've been reading a lot more Black authors lately, but I'm trying to diversify the conversation. Booktube doesn't have that as much, so that's kind of one of my goals there. But I'm enjoying my experience, meeting a whole bunch of great people. I saw Chatty in the chats. I don't know if she's there. Hey, girl, how you doing?
Yes,
I recently participated in Booktube Bulletin Board. Thank you, MJ. So I did the video for February. If you want to take a look at that and add to that. But it's been a great experience. As far as with being a small booktuber, it's been really nice. It's been very slow going, I will say. I feel like I hit my speed about where I wanted to be with Booktube in October, as far as with kind of, I think that when you first joined Booktube, well, at least with me, I read a whole bunch of random stuff. And so I kind of honed in as more, as I got more involved in the community of kind of what type of things that I wanted to read. So I think it definitely helps you pinpoint your reading style and things like that. And that can change too.
Yeah.
I definitely like enjoying being as part of the community. I think getting involved is definitely the way to go. If you want your channel to grow, I'm not hung up on numbers because I don't really think the algorithm really kind of applies to me at times. But I like being involved with the community. So sometimes numbers show that, sometimes they don't. So I support a lot. I do sprints myself on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. EST, pretty much every Tuesday. And then I add in another day, probably a Thursday evening at times. But I sprint pretty much every day at some part with somebody. So I get involved in the community a lot of, being in the chats and all. But it's been pretty fun thus far, and I'm enjoying my time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I always enjoy your content. Have you done any, over the summer, you were doing product reviews. Have you those are fun.
They were, and it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but I felt like while I liked that format, I didn't feel like that really worked for me because some products I got, I didn't really want to talk about. But I incorporate a lot of the products that I have into my videos, whether I say something or not. Like I'm about to film a video after this, and I got this really cool lip gloss I'll be talking about. But it's
yeah. You try things
every now and then.
Yeah, you try things on your channel and you see if they work, you see if they don't. That's I totally support that and understand. How about advice? What advice would you give to someone that may be in the chat that's thinking about a channel that has a young channel? What advice would you give to somebody starting out? And also, what is the best piece of advice that you might have received?
I will say for someone just starting out to just jump in, you never know until you do. And if you make a video or two and you don't like it, then you don't like it. What's the harm, right? But I would say to get involved in the community. I think I see a lot of people, and this is just me thinking, and I have a whole bunch of different types of people that I subscribe to, even content that I don't like. I'm not really a big classics person, but I go to people's channel. I listened to an hour and a half of somebody talk about Jane Eyre yesterday, and I have no desire to read that book. But it was, but I would say support and get involved and reach out to people and, be part of the community. I think that's a big thing. I know a lot of people put out videos, and that's great, but actually going to different people's channels and, you can hit the like button, that's fine. But, leave comments, people like that. I've heard, and this is a lot of big booktubers, a lot of them like flat out say they don't look at other people's videos. So that's kind of disheartening when someone flat out says that. But, they maybe decided they put in their dues. But for us smaller people, you need to be looking at people's channels and commenting and going through, especially if they're the ones that are, going to yours too. So that to me is a big thing. I wouldn't worry about lighting and camera stuff and all that jazz. Just make sure you're seen and heard. That's a big thing.
Absolutely.
I think the biggest advice that I have gotten, and I am a person of color, I have gotten was, I got a comment the other day of ignore the racism. So that's a whole nother ball game, but I feel like I have a different set of things. But they're saying just basically, enjoy what you make and enjoy the books and leave it at that, regardless of whether you get feedback or not.
Yeah.
That's the biggest advice that I've gotten. And I've always enjoyed reading. So to me, it's nice if people go to the channel. Hell, my mom goes to my channels. I send her the link. So I got at least somebody looking at each video. And I call it a day with that. So just enjoy your time and enjoy your books.
I agree. I always
term she said, protect the psyche. That's what the big booktuber.
Yeah. I always say make the content you want to see for yourself first. Right?
Say that again?
I always say make the content that you want to see for yourself first.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Would I want to watch my channel? Yes, because that I'm putting out what I would want to watch. Yeah.
Some of my earlier videos, I don't know if I would have want to watch, but I think my videos now, I really enjoy more.
Do you go back in time to watch your old videos?
I do every once in a while. I actually watch I periodically watch my own videos, and I will periodically watch my own sprints. Like if I have time at work, because I want to see like what mannerism, because you don't really, we don't normally see ourselves until you see ourselves. And I know we do, like I edit because I'm not a chatty the Mad Hatter. I'm not a one shot, one take. I commend her, but I'm definitely not that. So I edit to make sure that end product that I'm happy with.
Yeah.
But I go back and to see, am I talking too much? Because I tend to do that. And like what am I doing and what I can improve. So I'll listen to that. But I like the idea of going from that raw footage that I create and then getting that end product that I'm like, oh, I did that. Now, whether people like it or not, I don't know. But I'm proud of the idea of how I can condense and how well I can edit too. That's kind of nice.
Absolutely. I actually love going back to look at earlier videos and seeing where my confidence level was. Like how comfortable was I when I first made my first videos, and then where I'm at now, where I'm just like talking to like if you guys were family. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to see that journey. Do you guys feel the same way from where you first started to where you are now? How comfortable you are in front of talking to your phone or your camera?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. When I first started, it was very, very odd.
Yeah.
And now I mean, I don't even really realize I'm talking in front of the camera. I just picture, sitting around a table with everyone, talking to them.
Right.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say. When you're doing it, you actually picture the people that that you think are going to watch it, which is clearly impossible when you start. So it makes it much more comfortable.
Which again points back to the community aspect. Because if you don't have anyone in mind, you're just talking to a camera. But when you have a face, you have a name. I'm talking to MJ about this book, or I'm talking to Gareth about this book, or Courtney, and then
that's how I feel when it comes to sprints. But when it comes to the camera filming, I still struggle with saying what it is that I want to say. So I concentrate on getting my point across in the content, like in what I want to say about the books. I always think that if somebody's going to enjoy the book or enjoy what I'm saying, then I'm gonna concentrate on what I want to say and they'll enjoy it or they won't. So I don't necessarily think of like when I'm doing my filming for a vlog or whatnot about like other people around, because I feel like once I put it out into YouTube, it's it is there and it is what it is. Right. I don't think about that as much. But you know how you talk, because it takes me a while to get to filming. Like I do a few resets. And then I start talking and then I'm good, so it's the idea of is the wording that I want to come across. Cause I like to do a 10-minute or less. That's my sweet spot, So you got to get the specifics in within that time frame, right. Over 10 minutes, I start like, what can I cut out? This is just me. I enjoy other people's longer format videos and I watch them all the time. I just watched someone I was cooking breakfast 30 minutes, but I'm not going to do that. So I try to figure out how I can get it in there and condense it. It's nice when you have your certain crew, the people that you can visualize them more and get to know the people, and that's pretty cool for me.
Absolutely. Let's check in with some comments. Let's see. Nose in a book. Heading to the grocery store with the fam. Love you guys. Great chatting with you all. Happy reading and congrats on 1 year. You created a musing corner. I don't know if I created it, but I tried to help bring it all together. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
We're trying to keep the positivity, dance going. Jim says, my Goodreads goal is 100 this year, the highest I've ever set. I am one behind currently. I'll tell you what, Goodreads, I've never in my entire years of a reader had this, but I am so in advance right now. Like it just feels good because I'm always behind. It'll say you're 4 books behind your goal.
Yeah.
It's like Goodreads, shut up.
I know.
Exactly.
This is the first time I'm actually
I never used to use Goodreads until Booktube, and I'm so pissed that I haven't, because I'm interested to see, I'm not all about the numbers, I'm about enjoying the books, but I do, a lot of shorter books sometimes too. Yeah. And when I got my number at the end of last year, which was the first year I used Goodreads, I was like, dang, it would have been nice to see like what I read and all the stats and stuff.
Yeah.
But StoryGraph is good too if y'all haven't used that. I recently started looking into that, and it gives you way more stats and it's more user friendly and it's not as antiquated. I feel like Goodreads is so old, and I don't think that platform has changed much from its inception, which is one of the reasons I kind of didn't use it initially, because it was just slow and lagging.
Yeah, I really do wish Amazon would do something to improve Goodreads just a little bit, just to make it a little more data driven or something.
Yeah.
Now, Courtney, you said you were reviewing books on Amazon for like 10 years. Did any of that come over to Goodreads or no?
Nope.
Wow, that's crazy.
I never set up a Goodreads profile or account. I just, I just would review on there and call it a day. But, yeah.
That's awesome. I was talking to Micah. He doesn't have a StoryGraph, and I said if you import all of your Goodreads over to StoryGraph, that would be a good video idea too.
What's funny is when at the beginning of the year, when someone showed me StoryGraph, I did that. It's very simple, by the way, Micah. And I thought of that later, that would have been a great video. So I would suggest you do it. And but I do think that while my books transported over, the numbers and some of the stats, it was only like half of them. I don't know why it's not pulling up. But if I pull up my books, it says the 181, but the stats say like 95.
Yeah, there's like a 20% plus or minus. I got when I did mine in December, and it's just you kind of just have to go back and see where the missing gap is.
Mm-hmm.
But it still would be a good video idea, Micah.
Yes,
I'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
Hey, I need to head out, but
all right, it's been great having you here.
The chat. This has been fantastic.
Thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate it. Awesome.
Take care, everybody.
I like your background, by the way.
Thank you.
Awesome. Let's see. Bandy says, I love StoryGraph. Also recommend checking out Readerly. It recommends books based on common data with other readers. That's interesting. Do you guys use Readerly at all?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I've never heard of it either. I'm going to write that down.
I was going to get rid of Goodreads, but it's, Goodreads is still like the ultimate platform platinum of choice. So I don't want to completely get rid of it. So I think I'm just going to do all of them until I get tired of cutting and pasting.
I'm with you. Secrets reads. Wait, what? You can import Goodreads into StoryGraph? I recently signed up for StoryGraph, but it is tedious to keep up adding my books into multiple sources. Yes. You can import all of your data. Yeah. Now, you import it once and it'll bring everything over, but it would be ultimate if they would connect, but it's two different platforms, two different businesses, so that'll never happen.
Yeah.
But that would be fantastic.
Yeah. One of the things I was going to say about
the house.
Oh, Ollie.
How you doing?
If Ollie's just arrived, you might know we've been talking about him loads, haven't we? The previous bit of the thing.
We're just amount of books he reads.
Yeah, I was going to say about the challenge that one of the issues about having a big number for your reading challenge is when you get to the end of the year, you might avoid big books, which is obviously not a good idea if you want to read some big books. Yeah. So I do think it's about taking it with a pinch of salt a little bit as well, and don't beat yourself up if you're not reading that amount of books. If you're still reading and you want to read some big books, isn't it? Absolutely. I think that's true as well.
And that's a good lead into March of the Mammoths. That's coming up. The big books. 800 pages or more.
That's Stephen King.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I say this all the time. My sweet spot is 300 to 400, but I am trying to get to have books that are longer, but I just
I know.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to digest them on my Kindle than to actually look at the physical book, for sure.
That's true. Less intimidating.
Secrets read. There should be no shame in what you read. Everyone has guilty pleasures. I've seen the smut people read. Let that freak flag fly. You know it.
You just quoted David Crosby. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
David Crosby.
Bitter Elements. I read a lot of spicy books. Read and reread. There's no guilt, only pleasure. Everyone's saying hello. Hello, Courtney.
Hello.
The Den. Thank you, Eliza, for checking out my channel. More will be coming. Was more an ability to balance life based on plate spinning rather than discouragement. Dana, this channel, they do computer graphic art. They draw while they're talking about a book. It's fantastic. fantastic. It's fantastic. And it was interesting because I shouted out this channel a long time ago, and then they kind of went away, but the content is still there. So it's awesome to see old familiar booktubers for sure. JR in the house. Hello. Middle of the book march. Hello. How are you? Totally agree with Courtney. I rarely have notes for preparation. Not sure if that's good or bad. Once I'm done, I deal with the consequences. Middle of the
Let's put it out there into the world and let's see what happens. That's what I do.
I'd say you're very eloquent in the videos, though, so you can't tell that there's no note.
The beginning of her videos are always epic, and it sucks me right in. Absolutely love Middle of the Book March.
That's my kookiness. I tell people on my sprints, welcome to the chaos. You never know what's going to happen. I'm going to get myself in trouble one of these Tuesdays, but that's all right. We'll see what happens.
Wrong with that. Middle of the Book March says, Goodreads kills self-esteem, LOL. Yeah. Jim says, Goodreads keeps notifying me of threads I may have commented on years ago, and I'm no longer interested. That's interesting.
You can probably get out of that, though, I would have thought.
I guess.
It's hard to get out of those little forums. Like I pretty much put my little comments into Goodreads and reviews and stuff. And then I look at a few other people and then I'm out with Goodreads. But I ventured into like some of those forums and I don't know, like the threads, and I don't know how to get out of them.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like podcast forums that I used to belong to. I used to be on a website called Litzy, which was kind of before Bookstagram started. It was Litzy, and it's basically Bookstagram in its own app. They have a forum that keeps updating, and I'm just like, I don't know how to get out of this. It's crazy. Micah said, thanks for the chat. Have a great rest of the weekend. Bye, Micah. Oh, sorry, Ollie. We were talking about you. Says, found success posting in Reddit, getting into that community. Courtney, when you cross promote, do you cross promote on different platforms or anything like that?
Instagram, that's it, and I'm not consistent.
Yeah,
I probably need to be. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and edit right now and write that down.
They said that
Reddit.
There was a conversation going before you showed up that Reddit has a Booktube thread that people post their content in that you can get pretty good turnaround success with finding new subscribers. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Reddit.
There is I don't know, there is a little bit of a shame. Maybe I'm a bit old fashioned, but there is a little bit of a shame in the fact that now every time you do something, you got to tell social media you've done it. Do you know what I mean? You got to keep remembering that. Yeah. Oh, I haven't really done it until I've said it, you know. Right.
That's basically if you want to build your brand, you know, if you want to keep growing for sure.
See, that's what's interesting is because prior to Booktube, it's not that I banned social media, but I wasn't really part of it. Like I got Facebook because my family doesn't stay anywhere near me. So I only got Facebook years ago to communicate with my family because all the little kids were growing up and vacation photos, but all my settings are set to private. So unless you know me, then you probably wouldn't even find me because I go out of my way to set everything to private because I think people steal your data. And, and then I got on Booktube. And so I try to make sure that if I'm promoting anything, it's Booktube related, not like Courtney, but it's Courtney with
Right.
Because I don't have any other socials, and I like it that way. It's Booktube, you know. But you can know me through Booktube. I mean, you can see my personality within that craziness. So,
but like in my job, I teach 16 to 18-year-olds mostly. Yeah, so occasional 19-year-old, but usually 16 to 18-year-olds. And that is, you know, they're not even thinking about a brand, they're just thinking about themselves as being themselves. And they are constantly saying what they're doing on social media. And it kind of, that thing, that new thing about, what's it called? Share the moment or something, or be real. I think it's called Be Real. And there's this new app where they have to take a photo of something they're doing at that moment. And it's just that idea that, you know, they are absolutely engulfed in this. Yeah. You know, and it's not necessarily, they're not trying to sell anything. They're just kind of selling themselves. You know, they're not really selling a product or anything. They're just like, this is me.
You know, validation, self-validation.
Yeah.
There's definitely, you know, something. There's a bit of a shame about that, I think.
Yeah. Let's see. Read and reread. I call it big book trepidation. Talking about mammoth books, large books. Middle of the book march. Big books are excellent reads. Will cure the trepidation. Dave Art says, I read books of all sizes, but a lot of times 800 books are full of fluff. Jim says, I say in my videos that reading is not a competitive sport and that quality trumps quantity. But then I feel a little disheartened that I am X books behind on my Goodread target. That's just Goodreads. That's just Goodreads trying to shame you. Don't fall for the shame. You're doing A-okay.
Yeah, but also just make sure you have a realistic Goodreads challenge goal thing, because Goodreads isn't creating a number, you are. So
Correct.
If you want to say I'm going to read 20 books this year, why not? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Somebody said, I don't know if it was another booktuber, but they set their goal as 1. So if they read 1 book, they met their goal, and then everything else was just frosting out.
There you go. There you
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's
brilliant.
brilliant.
Why not? Why not?
Middle of the book march, laughing along. Thanks so much, guys. Your channel's awesome, man. You guys have to go back into the group and leave it. I'm not sure what we're talking about.
I think it's some Goodreads when you join those little groups.
Oh, okay.
I tried tonight. It's complicated, so I just leave the notifications there.
Yeah. My view on cross promotion is that you don't need to do it. I really don't think it makes much difference. The way I think about my Instagram is it's kind of an extension of the channel. There you go. Jim says, I find Reddit is better for niches than the Booktube subreddit. If I post a YouTube video related to Georgia, I will post it on the Georgia subreddit and get more updates. Wow. Crumbs, Ollie says, I don't post on there when I put a video up, but I do use it to talk about books generally. JR, all my social media basically is an extension of my author or YouTube platform.
Makes sense.
Bandy says, my dog is demanding walks. I've got to run, but lovely video. Happy 1-year anniversary. And thanks, Gareth and Micah, for your time and advice. Bandy, I'm really behind in these comments. Bandy says, if you join the chat, Courtney will follow your channel now.
Thank you.
Jim says, Claudia set her book target as 1. Yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea. And then you're never in competition. You achieved your goal already. I think that's wonderful.
I think the whole numbers thing is one of those things that when I first joined Booktube, I got into that. I think it was like the first 2-3 months. And granted, I have a lot of time. Like I don't have kids. My husband plays video game, blah, blah, blah. But so I do tend to read a lot. But I got into that of feeling like I had to read all the time. And then I did a self-reflection. What the heck are you doing? Mm-hmm. And I stopped that. And so I feel like I stopped the whole competition thing. But that's why I said, don't feel like you're in competition with other people and that you have to read. I think it was like Mayana Reed. She's like a big booktuber. She was talking about she read 33 books in 1 month, a few months ago. Yeah. And it's like, who is that serving? I mean, granted, some of the bigger booktubers get paid and, they get these promotions for books. So probably have time frames. But, just keep in mind, folks, that you're not getting paid for this. And, don't quit your day job for reading.
Yeah, no.
Take time away from stuff. Because I have done that. I enjoy reading, so I do take time away from other things in order to read. But, it's not something that's crucial. But you got to put that in check every now and then.
Mm-hmm. But also, I'd add to that, you don't even have to do the challenge. So Goodreads is really good for tracking your books, and you can look at what you've read and blah, blah, blah. It keeps saying at the beginning of the year, do you want to do the challenge? You don't have to do the challenge. And if you do the challenge, make the challenge useful for you. So, if you're doing the challenge, it's probably because you do want to read a certain amount of books. But it might not be that, don't do it because you think, I'm going to try and aim to read as many books as blah, blah, blah. It's about how many books do you think you want to read and can realistically read, or don't do the challenge, isn't it? I mean, like that thing about, Goodreads is bad for your sense of achievement. Well, don't do the challenge if that's doing that. Do you know what I mean? But you can make a low number and it won't challenge that. It'll just be something you're, tracking.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And just, topping off what Courtney said about the numbers, it's just a number. As long as you're reading and you're enjoying it, that's all that matters. Don't if it says you're 5 books behind, so what? Who cares?
Yeah.
Let's see. Crystal says, I do get quite a few video views in the feed from Twitter, so I like to share there. Yeah. Jim said he read 79 books last year, which is more than I ever read before. It felt good briefly.
It's a lot of books.
Yeah.
It's a lot of books.
Steve Donahue reads over 1,000 books in a year. I believe that. Ollie says, I don't do the challenge anymore. Because you read all the time.
Don't need to, yeah.
like I said, I did the 76 this year, so I could go off of Bowie's birthday one more time, just following what age he would be. But the Get Off Your Phone challenge is what motivated me to do 20 in January. But once January's over, if I read 2 books a month, I'm good. Like I'm not setting myself for a number or anything like that. It's just whatever brings me joy. The minute that reading feels like work and the minute that YouTube feels like work, it's over. MJ is going to be out because this is fun. Reading is supposed to be fun.
Yeah. No, you're right. What was it I was reading? I can't remember one of the recent things I was reading. I couldn't pick it up very often because I just didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
And it's like, rather than going, oh, well, you should, it's like, no, actually, I'll pick that up when I'm ready. And I think it should, like you say, it should be fun. It should be when you're ready. It should be something you're enjoying. And if you're thinking, yeah, but I was going to review it next week, it doesn't matter. If you're not in the mood to read it, wait till because you'll end up liking the book less if you read it at the wrong times. Isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to be in the right frame of mind to read, I think.
Kevin says, I think the Goodreads algorithm just wants you to buy more books from Amazon. Yeah, because Amazon owns Goodreads. Right?
Don't do it.
They bought Goodreads how long ago? Like 5 years ago or something like that? It's all linked in. Oh, Steve sleeps 4 hours a night and has only read books his whole life. He is not a gold, but an anomaly. No need to compare. And I would tell him to his face. Yeah, we all would. Yes, MJ. Thank you. Steve is definitely a statistical outlier, such an anomaly. Well, he does that for a living. So yeah, you would have to read all the time. Yeah, no. So what do you guys, what are some of the things I know, Gareth, you have the band, what other things are you interested outside of BookTube and outside of reading? Oh, there's gotta be stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, music is a massive part of my life. So yeah, like you said about the band, but also you're learning about it, teaching it and all that sort of stuff is a really big thing for me.
That's awesome.
But, yeah, I don't know. Music and books take up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
These dogs I love. I've got a cat as well somewhere. I think the cat's appeared in the videos before. So yeah, I've got 3 pets, but I don't know. Yeah, music and books. I used to be a wannabe cartoonist because I collect cartoonist books too, and I do like to dabble in that, but I'm not very good, so I don't do it very often. But I did draw the cover of the second to last single that we released, so that was quite cool. That was a little professor guy with a test tube. But yeah, so I'd like to get more into cartooning if I had more time than what I've got now. I mean, because I write as well, so I write the books, and I'm writing a poetry book at the moment. So that's going well. I'm quite pleased with that. But yeah, so the writing also takes up time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Courtney? Any hobbies outside of BookTube? Fitness, right?
I try. I'm not as good as I used to be, but yes, I don't know. I'm a big ball of random. I should have called my channel The Random Reader, but I fitness. I like to clean my house. I have dogs that I don't like. I used to volunteer in places till the pandemic. I do like puzzles, though. I think that's, enjoyable, but,
That's fun. There was a booktuber when I started, and I don't think she's around anymore, but she would do a puzzle a month. And when she was doing the puzzle, she would give book reviews.
See, I try to do other things because I love nails. That's another thing that I do on my channel. But I used to try to do like my nails while doing the books. But, I cannot multitask. Like I said, trying to get the video out and saying what I want to say is already a challenge for me because I'm specific about certain things that I want to say. So trying to add in something on top of that is a challenge. So unless I'm doing an overlay, like I did them separate and then combine them, then that would be difficult. So that's good that she does the puzzle, but I like a puzzle. I have several not completed on my dining room table now, but I like to do those like when I'm like audiobooks, but recently the books I've read aren't audiobooks. So I save my puzzles for if I have an audiobook.
That's awesome.
In order to do it at that time, because you don't.
Yeah.
Can I just ask? in America, do you call them jigsaw puzzles, or is it just a British thing? Are they called jigsaw puzzles over there?
Yeah, it's jigsaw.
Yeah. Okay. Just sometimes our words are different, aren't they? Just wondered if, because I'm assuming you're talking about jigsaw puzzles, are you, or just any puzzles?
Oh yeah. Well, there's some really good puzzles, but there's jigsaw puzzles. That's what I have now. But I've done diamond paintings. I'm looking at one now. Those are, my eyes are still crossed from that. It's just like a million little pieces, but those are fun too.
That's awesome.
I like things that challenge your mind and craftsy, like within a structure that I don't have to create myself.
Mm-hmm. I love multitasking with audiobooks. That's like a Zen vibe for me, you know, whether I'm like doing planner stuff or I'm cleaning or something. If I have an audiobook going, like it's like automatic. Like even if I'm at the gym and I'm on the treadmill, I'll have an audiobook going and then I'll look and the timer's off and like a half hour went by like that. Like it's just awesome.
Yeah, I discovered audiobooks last year. Oh, say that again?
Sorry, I was going to say, I love the concept where someone's reading you a story. I think that's really cool. And I'd love to get more into that because I haven't connected to it yet. But I love the idea of audiobooks. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do as far as with like, not necessarily an audiobook. I was trying to volunteer somewhere where I can read to somebody, you know, my book, of course, but I can't find any place that does that. But audiobooks are definitely great. I discovered those last year. And as well as graphic novels, but I really enjoy audiobooks. I like immersion read. Generally, when I have an audiobook, I want to have a physical book because I go back and forth. Yes. But audiobooks are great. Like in the summertime, I cut down some trees in my yard and listen to a book. Mm-hmm. Made it go quicker since I didn't really want to cut down the trees, but I had no choice.
Definitely. I'm going to share with you guys a story about Watson. Courtney, you brought up about volunteering. When I originally got Watson as a baby, I wanted to do a program called Reading with Watson for local libraries. And there's a national program in the States. I forget what it's called, but basically the dogs are trained to be service dogs. And you take your dog to the library, and little children that are learning how to read that may not have confidence, they'll read to your dog. And it's kind of a comforting thing. But Watson is too, he won't be able to sit still for it. He's still too wild for it. But that ultimately was my dream, was to volunteer at the local libraries within my county and just have school kids come in and read to him, because he loves just hanging out for reading. And I said, this could be a really good thing, but his disposition right now, he's still too wild. He can't do it. All right, let's get some comments. Ollie said, totally correct. Goodreads isn't for readers, it's for publishers. Jim says, Steve also speed reads, which destroys the enjoyment. Middle of the bookmark says, yes, Jim, agree. Kevin N. Steve not only reads huge content, but amazingly, he remembers everything he reads. Jim says, if he remembered why we sleep, he should know just 4 hours sleep is unhealthy. Read by Fred. My hobbies outside of Booktube include working out, cooking. I'm making pork roast as I watch this, and science lab stuff. Ooh. Jim says, I'm currently getting into creating AI art with Midjourney. Jim, I really do love your community post with AI art. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, awesome.
Alan says 2 hours. Yeah, Alan, we're 2.5 right now. Christopher Don says puzzles might be a good excuse to clean my table off. Oh, Fred, we can tell you work out.
That's true. I thought Al was saying he has 2 hours sleep. Then when he went 2 hours, I was like, no, you need to get more sleep than that, mate.
Alan's into music too. You ought to have like a jam session or something.
Yeah, really fair. I need to send him something. Yeah. Sadly, it doesn't work live.
Yeah, read and reread. I like thrifting and vegan cooking. I'm trying to make chocolate ice cream right now, but terrible at multitasking. Who knows what I'll end up here? Let's see. Read and reread. MJ, I had a dog once that I wanted to volunteer with. Yeah. Oops, I wasn't finished. He lived a long, happy life, but he never calmed down. I know. I know the feeling. Middle of the book march. I've eliminated all other hobbies. I have a one-track mind. That's my kind of person. That's awesome.
Reading's the best hobby.
Really, I mean, honestly, it really is. Like, what other hobby can you think of where you get to travel around the world, you get to live in different lives, you get to experience what they've experienced and not leave your home or not leave your body? Like, it's just insane. I love reading so much. I think it really does. I don't feel bad for people that don't read, but I feel like they're missing out, and as much as I try to convince other people, like non-readers, to read, they just have to do it for themselves. They just have to find the right book to get started with. Do you guys?
Yeah, there's so many types of books out there, isn't there? There's so many things that you can find from books. It's not about read this. It's about read something, and there's like you say, there's something for everyone out there, isn't there? It's a way of, imagination.
Yeah. Do you guys have people in your friend circle or family circle that aren't readers that just don't understand why we love books so much?
Yeah, most of them. But I will say, thankfully, my mom she probably reads more than I do. She just can't remember half of it. But yes, most of the people don't read as much, but they understand though. Like people around me, I explain to them about Hammer Reader. I have to explain BookTube to them and all. But I try to get them involved when it comes to sprints and stuff too.
That's awesome.
It's like you can come on, like you don't have to even say anything. Just come on and listen. If anything, you can look at me and then call me later and make fun of me of some stuff that I've said.
Definitely. I'm telling you, I wish my parents had me younger. My mom had me when she was 47. So they're both long gone, but they were both huge readers. And I think that they would really be over the moon with, I'm going to start crying. They would be over the moon with this whole BookTube community thing. Like, honest to God, I really do feel that way. Okay, I'll stop.
No, it's real. Yeah.
Let's see. I've eliminated all of their hobbies. Okay, we got that. The best. Jim says, a reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads only lives one. Correct. Have to step away, but I'm going to check in more often. This is great. Thanks everyone for putting it together. Well, thanks. I just kind of I bugged some friends and I'm like, hey, you want to come on and talk BookTube?
This is a great idea. To be fair, I need to leave in a minute because I can see that my battery's going on the phone. So
yeah, we're winding down. We've been talking for 2.5 hours already. It's been awesome.
It's been brilliant, yeah. And it's so nice to have Courtney up here. It's really awesome.
Yeah. I like to think that how my reading style is how it's also with the connections that we make. Like Micah and I, we don't have books really in common, but we're friends, and that's the common love of books like carries through all of these friendships and all of these community building things that we do. And I just think it's so, I wish the rest of the world can be like BookTube. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's a very positive. It's a very positive place, isn't it? Which is it's important to be positive, and it's a positive place.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Let me see. When I meet someone new, I will ask, what are you reading? If they say nothing, that's fine. But if they're reading, there's a good connection. Yes.
That's true.
100%.
An icebreaker for those single folks.
Yes. Definitely. When I used to go to concerts a lot, and if I had an opportunity to meet like the band or something like that, that's people don't want to say, oh, I love your music. Da, da, da. I would always ask about something not related to music to have like a conversation opener. And that's what I would ask. I'm like, do you read, and what are you reading? And that would totally start a conversation that I never would have had with this person ever in my life.
Yeah. I don't know why it's popped into my head, but do you know Jamie Cullum?
Yes.
So Jamie Cullum, the jazz pianist. One of my memories about that kind of thing, it's not really directly that kind of thing, but it's popped into my head. When I was working in HMV, so I worked for 4 years in HMV, and I was working behind a counter, and Jamie Cullum and his band were playing in Portsmouth, and there was a little bit of a buzz that are in the shop, and I served him and his drummer, I think, and I was taking him around to sort of the place that he needed to go to, whatever. And then when I was behind the counter, I managed to persuade the big thing. I found out he was a big Coen Brothers fan, which was cool. But also, I said to him, there's this new Muppet Show box set. You got to get this because you got to get the Muppet Show. And he was like, yeah, I love the Muppet Show. And he bought a Muppet Show box set because I told him that he needs to have the Muppet Show in his collection.
That's awesome.
So yeah, just random anecdote that means nothing, but yeah.
I have one Jamie Cullum tune, and it was because it was featured on a show called So You Think You Can Dance here in the States, and it was a beautiful dance, and it was a beautiful song. It was a remake of I Only Have Eyes for You, I think.
Oh yeah.
It kind of had like a dubstep hip hop slow vibe to it, and I'm like, purchase, download. So I know exactly who you're talking about.
He's a lovely guy. He's very friendly, and it's very very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. We did that one. Lovely MJ. I know I'm just a bucket of tears sometimes. I can't help it. I get emotional. When I meet we did that one. Oh, and Ollie's making fun of me. All right. All right. Well, this has been awesome, everyone. If there's any other questions in the comments, feel free to ask now. This is your last call. Again, Courtney, I don't know if you saw, I got little stickers made for my channel.
That's cute.
Yay. So what I'm going to do is everyone that leaves a comment in the comment section, I'm going to do drawings of bookish stickers, bookmarks, and some of these stickers. And I'm going to do a quick video on it. And we're going to do like 5 or 6 winners. I'm going to have my husband help me with putting all the names into that little wheel that goes around. So everybody will have an opportunity to win something. So, just a little thank you from me to everyone. So, all right. What are you guys doing the rest of the day? What books are you reading? Courtney, what are you reading right now?
Well, I'm going to film after this because I'm so behind, but I finished this last night. So I'm actually not reading anything at the moment. It's pretty popular. But
that's really good. That book, I read that last year. Really good, isn't it?
Did you continue in this series and read the second one?
I've got the other 2, but I haven't started them yet. But I have got them now.
Yeah, I'm debating about if I want. Huh?
Buddy read.
Did you find Courtney? Did you find it weird when it went into second person?
Yes, I've only read one book ever. One book before this that's been in second person, and so I recognized it as second person because the first time I was like, "What the heck is this?" But yeah, that's kind of strange. Yeah. It's not my preferred style.
Yeah. When it went back to third person, that was much better.
Yes, but I'm debating if I'm going to read this. I use my library a lot. So this one I actually won last year at Black SFF-a-thon. So I had this, and this is from the library. So no skin off my back if I don't read it and just return it. So I'm debating. But no, that's about it. Cool. I'm trying to get my readathon TBRs and all that stuff together for February.
I know.
Which is work, by the way, MJ. You were talking about when it becomes work, don't do it, right? Mm-hmm. The reading isn't the issue, it's putting together TBRs. And I feel like is the challenge and the work when you're trying to hit prompts, which is why I only do readathons on certain months.
Yeah. That's why I don't formally have a TBR, but I've committed to so many books in February. Like Sid from Storytime with Sid, she just reminded me we're buddy reading Frankenstein in February, and I'm like, I feel a TBR developing, and I'm kind of freaking out about it, because I don't like to keep myself in a box. I want to go outside and be able to pick up something, something else if I want to.
Yeah, that's all right. I stopped doing TBRs a while back, but I'll do a TBR if I'm part of a readathon.
Yeah.
But if I'm not doing a readathon, I'm not going to do a TBR. But this month, there's 3 of them, and I'm sharing prompts, so I'm going to put it together. But it's been work, I will tell you that. But I'm excited to read now.
I've set up quite a few for me this year, and it's far more than I would normally do. So this might be a bit of an experiment, and next year I might just think, no, I ain't going to do any. I'll just do it monthly or whatever, because it's a bit full on what I've chosen to do this year. So we'll see how I deal with it.
There you go. Christopher Don says, thanks for the chat. Have a great weekend. Crystal says, I love the Broken Earth series so much. Once you get to the 3rd book, the second person perspective makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get to that one. I'm debating. I enjoyed this. But I'm trying to figure out how to do it. I enjoyed enough to continue to read. I think this one's 400 something and the other one's 400. So am I enjoying it enough to read another 800 pages with all the other stuff I have going on? Yeah. There's apparently an NK... Huh?
Sorry, go on.
Oh, well, there's an N.K. Jemisin read-along. The Curious Owl, if y'all are interested in N.K. Jemisin, she's doing a year-long readathon where every month you're reading an N.K. Jemisin book. So it started in January for the Broken Earth trilogy. So if you don't want to necessarily, like, if I don't continue, then I guess I'll pick up in April when they start something else. So, but if y'all interested in someone, she's reading that.
Okay. Jim said he enjoyed the 100,000 Kingdoms.
Yes, that's another series. I'm going to pick up with that.
Yeah. Read and Reread said, in my family of 3, we read the Broken Earth trilogy during lockdown, and it helped keep going all 3 in a row to ultimately understand it all. Thanks for a great chat, everyone.
Bye, Reed. I like your name, by the way.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, I think this has been an awesome, 2 hours and 42 minutes. Man, this is the way I want to spend all my Sundays talking to friends. Oh, wait. Here we go. Jim says, I don't like the commitment to series that so many fantasy authors are into.
I agree with you, Jim. I mean, you are on track. I am not a series girl. I picked this up because it's part of a readathon, and I thought I would break that.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to. So that's why I'm trying to debate, do I want to read the other one? Because I'm content with having read this one book. So we shall see. I'm debating. I'll figure it out by tomorrow.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I guess we're gonna wrap it up. So again, thanks everyone for the support. Thanks everyone for hanging. You know what? That's not funny, Ollie. I don't formally have a TBR equals I have a TBR. That's not funny. I'm a moderator. Y'all know that. But thanks so much for continuing to support the series every Sunday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for even when other channels are supporting other people, like I still go. Like it's all about the community aspect. Like what I do isn't exclusive. Like I love seeing bigger channels shout out smaller channels. I think that's what helps keep the positivity flowing. And I really just want to keep doing this Sunday thing and, keep our friend circle expanding and the Booktube community thriving. That's the goal. So thanks, guys.
You do it regularly, MJ, don't you? That's the difference with you. You do it all the time, which is amazing.
I try my hardest. And I made a goal when I first started the series, when it started taking off, I'm going to do it every single Sunday. And I did, except for Christmas and New Year's. So I'm going to keep doing it because I love it and you guys love it. And that's the way that we make new friendships, right? Fred says, this was great. Happy to support Small Booktube Anniversary. Looking forward to another great year. And thanks, Fred, for your support. And thanks for the video. I'm going to try and get the audio going on it. But Fred was one of the first channels that I shouted out in episode 1. And he's still here.
Maybe once we've gone, you could try it then. Maybe it'll work then. Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys. So I'm going to sign off from here. And I will see you in my next video. How's that?
Thanks, MJ, for getting me on.
Thanks so much for entertaining me and for a year of awesomeness. I can't express it enough. It's been fantastic. Thanks, guys, for coming on.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, everyone. So let me try to. I'm going to see if I could get Fred's video going one more time because he put time and effort into it, and I really want to see if we can do it. I don't know if it'll work, but we're going to try. So let me share his screen. Let me share my screen because I have it loaded up. Okay. All right. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it or not. Let me know if you can hear it, okay? Let's see. All right. So I guess we couldn't do it. Well, we tried. All right, Fred, thanks again for sending in that video. It really does mean a lot to me. It was just basically him saying, keep it going, thank you, et cetera, et cetera. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna split. I got stuff to do. Thanks, Ollie. Thanks, Crystal. Thanks, Fred, as always. Yeah, Fred, let me know if I can do that. If I could share in my Discord, that'd be great. And that'd be fantastic. All right, everyone. It's been real. Oh my gosh. 2 hours and 47 minutes. I gotta make another coffee and get some reading done. All right, everyone. Take care. Love you guys. Bye.